Underdog Daily with the Badge Bros, Jon and Nez hanging out, Black and Yellow Dog app, platform of the people, Underdog Fantasy. Going to talk a little hoops today. I imagine we're background noise for a lot of people today, Nez, because so many people eyes focused on the tournament here, people sweating their bracket battles on the platform, but we're still going to do our thing. We got 6 games of NBA to get through. And then we got opening day next Wednesday. So Dinger's filling rapidly fast over this weekend here. So we're going to sneak in a dinger to close it out.
Yeah, I'm excited to do that. We haven't done a lot of dingers this year together. And I have to leave a little early today. So I'm trying to speed run the smaller hoop slate and get some baseball in, man. I've been jamming today. I'll tell you that.
Nice. All right. Right on. Yeah. Jamming dingers or jamming hoops?
Both, actually. It's
right
been
on, dude.
Yeah, fully locked in today, which is fun.
Got it. Love it. That'll bode well for us getting through a slate in quick order here.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I've been getting caught on the 1 hour clock like nobody's business right now. I did the ranks yesterday there. I kind of amended them last night, but I still got a little more jerks in Pro Far than intended.
Dude, oh my God. How many?
I don't know. I haven't looked. I don't have the heart to look right now, but I know I have a dead roster spot every now and then, but yeah. we'll keep going here.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm buzzing. I'm not gonna lie, man. Went out nice little steak dinner, watched some hoops last night there. Yeah, it was pretty good. I got a wedding this weekend for a family member. I'm excited for just life right now. Finally feeling healthy again. So vibes are high on the Badge Bros this afternoon.
They are. I haven't left the app since I woke up, basically. And yeah, you're on one. I'm gonna have a good night too. Got a little date night planned. Gonna see a movie.
Ooh. Okay, what's on the docket? What's a Nez date night consist of?
Oh no, we're just like going to the movies and then probably getting takeout after. Not like we were so busy the last 2 weeks, like we don't even want to do anything. So yeah, gonna see Project Hail Mary.
Oh yeah, that's the new Gosling, right?
Yeah.
Little
sci-fi action.
Okay, cool. Right on. I can't remember the last time I hit a movie in the theaters. Like, did you watch the Oscars on the weekend? Like, I just it wasn't even on my radar that the Oscars were on.
Well, I wasn't watching because I was watching the WBC, but I like the movies. I feel like I watched a lot of movies. I didn't see Marty Supreme in theaters, which was like a bummer. I really wanted to. I still haven't seen that, and I really wanted to. But yeah, I like movies. I haven't been to movies in a while because on account of the kid. So
yeah, no doubt. Well, we really used to like going to the movies like the cheap Tuesday night or whatever. And when we were downtown Vancouver area, we were like walking distance to a theater. So there was like this 2-for-1 pasta joint and then 2-for-1 movie. So like Tuesday night was like, oh, we'll go hit a movie. But then ever since like COVID and stuff like that chapter of my life just never came back. I don't know.
Damn, it did. Dude, COVID did just like make me just antisocial, just completely change my habits.
Yeah, like we watched Marty Supreme at home, like, and now I'm like, why the fuck didn't we just go to the theater for that? Like, that would have been a good one.
Yeah, I love the movies. I love the movies.
Yeah, classic night out, like just going get some popcorn, get the soda.
It's the most cliche thing ever.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
This is a good one from Miles in the chat here. Project Hail Mary, my March Madness bracket. That's pretty good, dude. I think the one we cooked up on stream might be doing pretty decent right now. Like I didn't go back and like look at it, but we had High Point in there because someone in the chat was hyping it. Divine something, and we were like, it's the signs. And and then we had the VCU one, and we had something else in there. So like we had a couple of the good upsets from early on there.
Yeah, it's like there's like 3 big ties right now. I forget how many points we have, but we're like right below like the first train, basically.
Okay. Right on. Okay. All right. We're in the hunt. We're in the hunt, as the kids say. Like the NFL Fox graphic, we'd be on the right-hand side in the hunt right now. Badge Bros in the hunt.
Yeah, team.
Nez, let's take a quick look at last night there. Your boy got 45 entries in. Sadiq Bey stuff in the last round aged quite nicely. Zion still has no ceiling. Tavoe. TVOE. We're going with that. How's that sound?
That's so many syllables.
TiVo.
TiVo
it is. TiVo it is. Beautiful team here, man. We had the debate about the Lakers playing or not based on the spread. All the Lakers decide to play despite arriving at whatever it was, 5 a.m. plus the time change, plus playing in Miami, plus starting off this long road trip. But that team is just going so nice right now that they don't want to mess with anything. And Luka comes out and drops 60 real life actual basketball points, 85 fantasy points. There did not have enough Luka in my life, partly just because of the draft slots I rolled. I did not have much Luka or Wemby. I was living on the Jalen Duren side of the board yesterday, but James Harden was my highest owned player, or one of my highest owned players. So glad that we got that right with the let them know. Then we talked about the Sacramento plus 76ers stuff, how we were like all in on that late night hammer. So we get two pieces from that. You get a falling LeBron, where, to be fair, that's kind of where he was going the majority of the day. He was falling to the 5th round at times there. And then De'Aaron Fox, just, a nice mean projection that aged well because Stephon Castle got a late Q tag downgrade and then got ruled out. So very nice team here, lapped the field by 11 points.
Yeah, this was a sick one, man. This was as close to the nuts as it gets. Really good team. I didn't have enough Edgecombe last night. He was really my downfall. I was sitting pretty high on this leaderboard until Edgecombe played until like 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, up 30, chasing a triple-double, down 3 rebounds. Like,
wow,
crazy.
That's what they did?
Oh, dude, he was gunning for rebounds, like trying so hard with like with a few minutes left before he got taken out of the game.
Wow.
He was gunning for it. Yeah.
Had no idea. Did not see the tail end of that one. My night of watching. Gosh, that sucks, man. Tough break for our guy, but Nez still finishes with a top 10. Shout out to Car Park, who's up here. Dirty Hands, clean money. The Sock Muffin, Noah. I think I saw Best Ball Noah in the chat there. GM to the King. Yeah, you're the king, my friend. On the bump again here. C-Vic is up here. Too Much Soul, nice name. Spartan, who we got to hang out with at the Dog Bowl, great friend of the show there. J-Cam, who's here every day. Wiz K, who's here every day. Fully Loaded, who's here every day. Nezzy Takes in there. Mana Ray, oh my goodness, it's just a who's who, man. Lewis is in there. JT McKenzie, truly a family affair at the top of the leaderboard last night. Love to see it.
Yeah, that was cool. Good to see. Great work. We must have been dialed, I guess.
We must have been. And then shout out to the Hot Sizzles, takes down the pick and roll last night. I was in the pick and roll streets there. Your boy on the exposure front, I went all in on Russell Westbrook, and then I played KPJ as in, so that swap turned into Jordan Miller, which I don't know if that was right or wrong. We had a bunch of Harden in there, a bunch of Grimes, a bunch of DeRozan, so directionally accurate with the plays, just the wrong players. Sadiq Bey had a really nice game in the last round, and then as I said, I lived on the right-hand side of the board instead of the left, so a lot of Giddey plus Duren over and over again to start.
Yeah, I mean, directionally accurate for sure. Just the VJ, big time deciding factor yesterday. Obviously, had to have him.
Yeah, DeMar playing 8 minutes. First half there was kind of tilting, no doubt. There, Ricky Lee saying, "Yeah, man, this is just the nature of how they run those vets on a night-to-night basis." Sanjay Rich saying the crossover saved his life. Shout out to the good cash in there. What's this one? WizK saying got a lot, saying 10th place with a 5% Usman Dang. Love to see it. Yeah, I had a little bit of Dang in my life, but then I did the Miller swap instead of the Dang. I had 15% Dang there. So I was on the Dang train with you. I just, I wish I had swapped my Miller to Dang, even though Dang did not perform. I just thought it was a sharper play. So yeah, shout out to you for being up there with that Dang kind of landmine in your lineup.
Yeah, good stuff.
All right, Nez, 6 games this evening. Most notably, the Detroit Pistons on the back end of a back-to-back there with Jalen Duren, who went nuke last night, but only played 24 minutes, left the ball game, did not come back in, but came back to the bench. Now has a Q tag for this evening. So that's a big push-pull dynamic of what to do in the first round today. So that's the only back-end back-to-back. And then front-end back-to-backs, Memphis, Houston, Warriors, Atlanta. So 4 on the front end, 1 on the back end there. Kind of evergreen questions for you. How far are you in your process? Any leans thus far?
Yeah, I am well into my process today. Let's see the total number of drafts. I'm trying to pull it up on mobile here, but it's like 75 of the main, and then like did all my buzzer beaters already. Yeah, so I feel pretty good right now. My biggest concentration points are Denny. I have like let's see, for the main, I think 40% Denny.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 40% Denny, 35% Jabari Smith, and then yeah, and then it's pretty flat after that. But I've got some new angles that are fun because I was drafting pretty heavy before the Pistons injury report came out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I had the same lean with the Denny stuff. I liked Denny. We've noted how the Minnesota defense has been considerably worse in the last stretch, and how they've provided some decently fun game environments. Also, Jaden McDaniels has been a little bit worse on ball. Denny is back to full. So it's really nice to see there with these 31s, 33s, 38s, yada, yada. Yes, I was on the Denny train with you. I thought there was a lot of fluidity in the first round after the 1-0-1, basically. Maybe we could call it a tier of 2 just to be respectful to Jalen Johnson, but it's not a great matchup for Jalen Johnson. And then it was kind of like choose your own adventure, man. Like, I understand pulling up Brunson if you think Karl Anthony Towns isn't going to play. I understand pulling up JB because of the matchup, but like, how much different is he really than Tatum, at that price point? So I think there's kind of like Joker, there's Jalen Johnson, and then there's like 12 guys that you can click all the way down to BI is basically how I was feeling.
Yeah, 100%. I felt the exact same way. And the deciding factor for me was like, who's paired with Joker like the most, So I'm not really planning on flipping the board a ton, just because I think that's just like a really tough ask to beat. So I'd rather kind of get double unique there against the Joker teams. But I'm pretty much taking Denny at 3 right now.
Okay, respect it, man. Yeah, I love the stance. I love the stance. If you knew right now that Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Duren were out, would that boost Jalen Brunson kind of into that tier with Denny for you, or not even?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that would probably do it. They're huge favorites here, so that does kind of scare me. But yeah, I think you could get there.
Yeah, so you got big favorites in Boston. You got big favorites in the Knicks there. You got some real life basketball games in the Denver-Toronto one and the Houston-Atlanta one and the Portland-Minnesota one. So like, it is really a haves and have-nots kind of slate in terms of like the real there's 4 real basketball games, and then there's 2 kind of like football spread punter games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Rolly in the chat saying that, you just need the first pick today. It feels a little bit like that, but we've fallen victim to that in recent memory and seen some floor games from Joker. But yeah, they are few and far between these days. So if that game does stay competitive, just given the spread and the total, it does feel good. Yeah, one kind of like wrinkle that you could do is you can be the guy who pulls Jamal to the other side of the board, and you get like a little bit of access to that game environment, and it kind of cannibalizes Joker. But it's like, it's hard to tell yourself that story because the two of them pair so effing well together. Like, they're the 1-2 big man of assists and points conversions around,
Yeah. It just, it doesn't really feel good to do that, but I get it. Yeah, it's really hard to tell yourself it's not a 101 or death slate, but hey, man, I love this spot for Denny. So we'll see.
Yeah, right on. I guess the big question to just ask then is, we're gonna get to it as we go through the slate, so maybe we'll just get to it with the Duren and Cat stuff and just push forward here.
Okay.
All right. Let me give Unabated an update here and hop on over. All right, first game on the slate, and this is where we're going to get to it. Knicks and Nets, the Battle of New York here. You have the Knicks as 17-point favorites in the lowest total on the slate, a 214.5 here. So the big notable Q tag on here is on the Knicks side there with Karl Anthony Towns. He has fallen as far as like 20 in some rooms here. He was a late addition to the injury report, and it's listed as personal reasons. I tried to do some internet sleuthing. I tried to do some digging. I tried to do the Instalytics. I couldn't find out what's going on with this personal reasons kind of thing. Did you have any luck, Nez?
No, I didn't find anything. But it doesn't sound good to be, a late Q with personal reasons. That to me, you're like 25%, maybe less likely to play for me. I'm taking Cat very, very late, if at all.
Yeah. So I was pretty much full fading. I put him at 21 in my rankings, and I actually got him once. So yeah, I don't know. That's just to speak to the landscape there, but it would be a half decent spot for Cat because, we like playing bigs against the Nets, and there is no Josh Hart. There's no Miles McBride this evening. And then all the G Leaguers, Windhurst up, are listed questionable for this evening. On the Nets side of things, no Clowney, no Jaeger Demon, no Terrence Mann, no Michael Porter Jr., no Daron Sharp, and then Zaire Williams and Ben Sharaf have been listed available to play. First question here on the Nets side. Will you draft any net tonight on a 6-game slate?
No.
Yeah. We talked about the hockey shift changes. We've talked about how everybody's just playing 25 minutes. Chaney Johnson is the guy who's playing like the most stable of minutes, and it's still only like 24, 25, 26, and it's mean projection stuff. I mean, Claxton probably has the highest ceiling, but he's going to have to deal with Mitch Robb and maybe more Mitch Robb than usual if Cat is out here. Danny Wolf could be a little bit of a ceiling now and then, but man, we've had nothing usable from this team basically all year long with the exception of Michael Porter Jr., and that's probably not going to start today.
Yeah, no thanks. Chaney Johnson.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a bucket.
Maybe he's a bucket. Yes.
Shooting 40% from three.
Yeah, you need a slate where we get what we got yesterday with Utah and the Kings, where they're only running like 9, and he can get to 31 minutes. But one slate this year, he might potentially matter when there's no Traore, no Ben Sharaf, no Terrence Mann, and he gets like that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I'm keeping my eyes peeled for the Chaney Johnson slate. It's gonna come.
Yeah, exactly, right? Is this true? Cam Johnson's brother?
What? There's no way.
No.
There's no way.
I thought Cam Johnson's brother was like UNC kid or something like that.
No, who said that? And why are you
me spreading false info?
No. There was literally no way.
J-Cam has a trusted, respected name in this community, and he's throwing fastballs at us on a Friday, man. I'm not equipped to handle these fastballs up and in on a Friday.
You know what is awesome, though, is that he does have a brother named Brody.
Named Brody?
Yeah, brother named Brody.
All right. So we got Chaney Johnson has Brody Johnson as his brother, and then Cam Johnson's brother is the one they call Puff Johnson, right?
Yeah. Okay, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Knicks, dude. Jalen Brunson will get like a nice boost here. They're massive favorites, and a lot of stuff will have to funnel through him. Mikal Bridges has been absolute dog shit. OG would probably be a really nice spot for him as well here. This is all on the basis of if Cat can't go. Would you want to be overweight these two, or are you kind of just like lowest total on the slate? Jalen Brunson's coming back. Maybe he's not full. Maybe they still spread it around a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be pretty like Jalen Brunson today. I think I prefer Julius Randle over him. Yeah, but I don't want to have a full fade because this is, certainly a spot where Brunson could just go nuke. But yeah, I'm not like getting over my skis even with Cat out. even with that, just because this team is so bad.
We've officially found the personal reasons for Cat, that he's awaiting overtime of the Kentucky game because he doesn't want to become the new crying Jordan meme in public. There you go. The cheese is all over it. There's the internet sleuthing we deserved.
Thank you, cheese.
If Cat gets ruled out and you happen to be drafting him when he falls in rooms, would you swap to Mitch Robb or Mikal Bridges or Jose Alvarado? Maybe gets some extended burn off the bench and plays a little bit of garbage today. Is there anything else here that would be interesting to you?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
There's just too much risk and not enough reward probably, unless like you are really confident. Like if Cat misses, I don't think I would kill you for drafting some Mitch Robb. He could play 26 minutes, which like would be way more than we're used to for Mitch Robb, and he's a monster. So he's not the worst pick in the world, but that's about it.
It's such a good spot for fives that it kind of does jump out that like if everybody is going to jam B-ball Paul on the hopes that Jalen Duren's not going to play basketball tonight, or they're going to try and swap to B-ball Paul, well, here's some leverage. Just play Mitch Robb, Yeah,
I agree. Okay. Very similar plays.
Okay, what about Mikal, man? Mikal's been awful. He got extended into garbage a little bit to try and get him going last time out. He did not get going. Man, I have no idea what to do with Mikal these days. He used to be a projection darling. Can we play him?
No.
Yeah. Fuck, man. No. 6-game slate against the Nets without Cat potentially. 17-point favorites, can't play Mikal. Like that's just, we're down so effing bad, man.
Dude, he's like a Walmart version of Herb Jones at this point. Like,
nice.
That was intentionally flagrant, but yeah, dude, just crazy, dude. 4 unprotected first-round picks.
If at least Herb Jones can mix in and guard a 5 every now and then.
There you go.
Yeah, Herb's still better.
Still.
All right, dude. Let's move on to the next one here. Warriors and Pistons, and this is where we're going to have that Jalen Duren conversation. Obviously, we're without Cade because of the collapsed lung. Hopefully, he can make it back for the playoffs there. The G Leaguers are listed out here. Marcus Sasser was listed out as well. Did not play a ton last night. It all the stuff funneled to Dennis Jenkins. We talked about how we thought he would start instead, but they did the Sasser thing the previous night. Immediately after Cade had got hurt. And then we were kind of like, oh, maybe they could do some Sasser stuff. Well, Sasser only played 14 last night, and now he's out tonight. So it looks like another Dennis Jenkins night for us. Still no beef stew as well. And then you get Kevin Huerter and Jalen Duren on the second night of the back-to-back with Q tags here. So the Duren Q tag, it's legit to me. And I'm going to just break it down for a half second for the people. Duren left the game last night with, I don't know, maybe he'd played about 23 minutes, something like that in the third quarter. B-ball Paul was cooking. He went back to the locker room. Then he returned to the bench, which is encouraging, but never checked back into the game. It was twofold. So then Bickerstaff had the interview after. I watched his presser. It was only like a minute and 10 seconds or something like that. And it was the last question they asked him. And it was effectively like, hey, what do you think about JD? And then he was like, oh, I think he's going to be fine. But Paul was cooking, so we just like let him run. And then there wasn't a spot to put him back in the game because they reached blowout time. So it's twofold, man. It's both that it's a real thing. It's an ankle, and he went to the locker room, and it's second night of a back-to-back. And they're 4.5-point favorites at home here. And they got some important games coming up, including the Lakers coming to town, that sort of thing. Right. But then it's also, hey, man, he only played 24 minutes last night, and the coach didn't sound overly concerned about it. So I guess the biggest question here, just starting with the Pistons, is how are you treating Duren tonight?
I was taking him, I think, like 3 before the Q tag hit. And I've got him way, way behind now because he's falling to like the Joker teams. So like he's part of that cohort of like, here you have to beat Joker when you take Duren at this point. If Duren's going to play. I didn't know that he left last night. Like you're telling me this for the first time. So that is really interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm spooked. And like before the show, I was doing a little B-ball Paul in the sixth just to like add it to the portfolio. I was doing some Dennis Jenkins as well. Even before, once the Duran Q-tag hit, then I started to take some Asar Thompson. But I think I was taking Asar once I saw Sasser. But maybe that hit at the same time. So, anyways, like I like all these Pistons right now. I like them all, like Tobias included.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man, I'm about it there. Like decently tight spread, higher game total than the first one there, with the 217 here and 4.5 by way of the Pistons. Yeah. Okay. I think there's multiple ways to play this. I think it's very astute of you to point out that you have to beat the Joker teams that now Duran is falling to, and those will be really hard, really good projecting teams to beat. I think there's the you can get overweight on the back end pieces, as you alluded to, as a leverage play, or you can be first to B-ball Paul right now and chase him in the 6th round because we know he'll project as like player. He'll probably project in the neighborhood of like Klingon. If we got Jalen Duran ruled out right now.
Right. Yeah. Just because maybe you already said it, but with Beef Stew out.
Mm-hmm. Yes, with Beef Stew out as well. Yeah. Okay, cool.
That's why it's such a smash.
I'm looking back at the unabated timeline from last night. Jalen Duran headed to the locker room Thursday at 5:51 my time and then returned at 6 p.m. my time, returned to the bench, but never came back into the ball game. So 9 minutes locker room. I don't know. Sounds like a sprained ankle. Sounds like they said your night's done and now you see how it feels today kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm bearish right now on him.
Okay. If you had to pinpoint your favorite of these back end pieces, if we're just going to rank out Detroit, is it Dennis Jenkins first?
Yeah.
Okay. And then B-ball Paul because of like the volatility, but B-ball Paul, just so everybody can kind of like grasp this, he's an okay 6th round pick as is right now. Like I said last night, if he got garbage, if he got whatever, he could put up a usable score. And, Duran went to the locker room, but B-ball Paul still only played 20 minutes. And when he went to the locker room, it basically just coincided with garbage. So if you're just looking at the rotation and you saw that he never went to the locker room, you'd just be like, oh, B-ball Paul just took over and played garbage. And look, he puts up 31 fantasy points in garbage time in 20 minutes, right? So, I mean, this is definitely range of outcome, even if Duran plays tonight, that he just does something like that. Now, it's not as clean a matchup as last night was, but like this is definitely a range of outcome, and that could be viable and not sink your lineups in the 6th round as is right now anyways.
Yeah, very well said. It's not a total zero if Duran suits up, but I would sure prefer it.
Yes, exactly. It's kind of like you get the ceiling if he doesn't like suit up, but then
a little bit of a floor, and then I'd go with Sar and Tobias here.
Okay. Yeah, Asar, Tobias, and then that's it for you?
Yeah, no Karis LeVert, I don't think.
No, yeah. Had some nice drives last night. 30 fantasy points there. Like just it was on my radar, but like, because we used to love playing a little bit of Karis LeVert in our lives, but that ship's probably sailed, and the Dennis Jenkins role was really strong last night. The problem was he just didn't hit a shot. So I wouldn't go box score watching here. I would go, hey man, he played 33 minutes. He had a whole bunch more potential assists than this, and he was like 3 for 15 from the field or something.
Yep. Yeah. He's a smash with Sasser out, man. Like, forget about it. Yeah. He's a smash.
Love it. Okay, cool. Let's talk about the Warriors side there. I'll read off the injury report because I was really focused on Detroit there. Warriors side is still without the Curry brothers, still without Jimmy Butler, and then they're missing some bigs here, man. They're missing Al Horford and Quentin Post, and then they're missing Moses Moody, who could play some wing and shoot some threes and stuff there. So, yeah, man, probably going to get that Pods, Melton, Santos, Zinger, and Green spot. Zinger's going quite high today. People kind of just buying back in to the most recent box scores where he's been smashing. He can do a lot with a little, and man, if he doesn't see Duran on the other side, and he sees B-ball Paul on the other side, dude could go to work in 25 minutes against B-ball Paul.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Kristaps is a really good play. The one thing that not to mush Zakarian spot, but he was talking about, he commented on it. Okay. He's asking about the back-to-back tomorrow, tomorrow they have a back-to-back. And apparently there were some quotes going around. I couldn't find them that they want Zinger to start playing back-to-backs. So there is a potential. Like, I'm worried about this only being like a 20-minute spot, but I'm still taking them. But I think that risk exists.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually a good shout there. If they just do like the split 20 and 20 and they play Atlanta tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, put it on the radar. Put it on the radar. Both Atlanta and Golden State will be on back-to-backs tomorrow night, facing off against one another. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then obviously Kuminga sitting out the front end here, and then will be available for the back end tomorrow. Man, Kuminga tomorrow. Thank you for putting that on my radar there, because that'd be sweet.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
All right. Okay, yeah, probably not a spot that I want to get overweight just because the ADPs are quite expensive and we run the risk of running him into Duren plus the minutes limit. But like, he's entirely palatable at this price tag when Ty Jerome, who has the same problem with minutes, is going in the same neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Anyone else you want to be interested in here, like Santos or Pods? I love Melton from like a rates perspective. Had a bad one last time out, but man, when you get him up to those 30 minutes against Washington there, 42 actuals, and like he just takes over from a usage standpoint.
Yeah, he is on my radar. I haven't drafted him yet, but it's your boy, and he's good. He's a good basketball player. He's been good, but I'm not getting him tonight.
Okay. I just wanted to see if I could find. Yeah, this was the one here, and this was with Zinger in as well. But Zinger played off the bench in this one, but Melton started. Oh, I got to get the usage overlaid in for a second here. That's what I was. Because I was like, holy shit, Melton usage night with the 28 with the first unit, 59 with the second staggered spot, 38, and then 75 go to work, young man, in the fourth quarter there when he played 30. So like the Melton usage and like Melton getting his is no joke. So if you're looking for like the poor man's Ty Jerome, who's not getting played by anyone, Melton feels fun in the last round.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really hard to take Melton in the last round, though, when people are still letting Jenkins fall to the last round. That's the issue right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jenkins is a gift in the six right now.
Yeah. Any love for mean projection? Draymond Green, they're a little bit thinner at the big position today. Could give you 35 fantasy points, and that could be enough in the last round.
So who is that? I'm sorry, Draymond.
Draymond.
Yeah, I'm not doing any Draymond.
Okay. And can Pods score 30 real life basketball points for the first time ever?
Not tonight, I hope.
Not tonight. All right. Sounds good to me, my friend. Let's keep trucking. First real basketball game. Well, I guess Warriors and Pistons is a real basketball game. It's just got some potentially wonky moving parts, and it's got Kerr's rotations and that kind of BS in there. But this is the first kind of circle the calendar. I want to watch this basketball game tonight. We got Rockets and Hawks here, 3.5 by way of the Rockets. Rockets coming off those two tough losses to the Lakers that were basically 4-point swings or 4-win swings, basically, with the head-to-head implications there. So Rockets looking to right the ship, pun intended, in this one. And then, as noted in the chat already there, no Kuminga on the Hawks side. So the Hawks have doubtful tags on the G Leaguers, and then Jonathan Kuminga listed out. We've talked about that ad nauseum, how just his 20 minutes is worth more than anybody else's 20 minutes. Not anybody, but a lot of other players 20 minutes, just because it's such a high usage 20 minutes. It's just impactful for Jalen Johnson's ceiling when he's not around, but maybe some of that's mitigated by the matchup here, because it is a tough one with some long wing defenders on the other side for Jalen Johnson. And then on the Rockets side, we got no Steven Adams, no Jason Tate, and no Fred VanVleet. So this is about as full as both these teams can be, with the exception of Jonathan Kuminga right now. So a lot of pieces getting drafted from this game. Nez, let's start with the Houston side of things. We saw ceiling return for Sengun last time out.
Yeah, that was good to see. Played a lot of minutes. I like the spot for him here too. It's just like the problem is just the evergreen problem with the Rockets is like, which one do you draft? How do you rank them? Amen's got such a strong ADP, and I know you're not like the biggest fan of him, but he's taking on a pretty strong role right now. Like, minutes monster, ton of touch time, pretty good matchup here. I do think I like Amen more, but I've got a lot of Şengün. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think Şengün will project better, but that's kind of just evergreen. Amen obviously has to deal with like some combination of Dyson and or Nah on ball, which is just something I don't love. I think I prefer it if he gets Nah, and I do think he'd probably get Nah. KD would get Dyson. That would kind of be like how I would view it, but not a given, right? Yeah, so I do like where you're at with like the youthful legs right now are playing dividends. He did have like a decently beneficial matchup in those Lakers series with Şengün being out, so the box scores do like look really strong. And old ass Durant kind of falling off a little bit as Amen then came back and is now really going scorched earth. Yeah, I'm mixing and matching this tier. I think Şengün's my favorite of the bunch, just from a matchup standpoint, just not having to deal with Nah or Dyson. I'm kind of out on KD today, getting the Dyson treatment, but like that being said, he's in that tier of like 15 where he has to go in the first, 2.5 to 3 rounds. And then, then we go from there kind of thing. So if it's KD versus BI, and that's kind of like my cutoff in the rankings, I think I still will take KD over that. But I think that is kind of like the line in the sand is like the end of the elite tier for me is like KD, BI, Gobert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree with that tier. And yeah, I'm the most Şengün out of these three. 21% Şengün, 16% KD, so perfectly average, and then 14% Amen.
Okay. Amen in that like front end tier here. Like, so you're probably gonna have to not wave projections and just accept ADP in our lives to get some of these Amen shares. I haven't looked yet, but I imagine that's what's happening here because I've seen him fall in rooms. Amen or Denny, I think we're both on the Denny train. Amen or Brunson if Cat sits?
Brunson.
Okay. Randall, who had that really nice quarter and a half and then didn't really play much down the stretch there. Maybe a more competitive game here. Do you like Randall, Scotty, or Tatum versus Amen?
Randall, Scotty, or Tatum? I think Randall over Amen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of where you'd rank it out?
I think so.
All right, cool. Respect it. Good with it. You did say you had a big Jabari Smith Jr. bag. Is that just a bet on minutes? Is that just a bet on the player? Anybody else that you like from Houston?
No, he's it. I'm not doing Reed, but just love Jabari, man. He plays mad minutes. He's been really effective for them. Yeah, I just think he's like a pretty safe pick, I'd call it, in this spot against Atlanta. This is a really fun matchup. Dude, Jabari's just been cooking, man, and the underdog projections still project Tari Eason more than Jabari Smith. It is so funny.
That's exactly where I was going with it. I saw the number and I was like, this is so good, man. That Tari Eason just out projected him again.
At least ETR finally changed their ways.
They capitulated.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I hope they did.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I guess Jabari versus Jalen Johnson. Is that the matchup we're worried about tonight? Jabari versus Jalen?
Yeah, you think Jalen gets the Jabari assignment?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the best of the bunch if that's true. Because Dyson and KD, right? That's how I'd play it. Nah and Amen.
You put Nah and Amen? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense then.
Yeah, that makes Jabari look kind of like good back end chalk.
I'm a pretty big fan.
Okay. Anybody else that you would like here? Like, can we just go like, hey, Reed gets hot in the second unit? Or is that kind of ship sailed when they're full?
Yeah, not when they're full.
Yeah. And then Tari Eason down levels of Mikal Bridges bad right now.
Yeah.
Mike noting the shooting splits since the All-Star break have been wild. All right.
He can't hit water. If you thought about.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for this. Just like the consistency in the minutes and the performance, where it's like we don't know how Jabari's going to do it every single night, but Jabari just finds a way to give you 30 fantasy points. And on a 6-game slate, that goes considerably further than on like a 9-gamer, right? Like that consistency coupled with a potential right tail feels good.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so I got to start mixing. Let's start mixing a little bit more of that in there. Mike's saying that he's 1 for 42 from 3 or something crazy. Fucking A, man.
Can't have that.
That's wild.
That's bad.
All right, dude. Back to the beautiful unabated interface as we push along here, and we get to what I'm going to assume is Nez's favorite game of the evening here. Not the highest total on the slate, but another good competitive basketball game here that are the T-Wolves trying to avoid the play-in series, the Blazers trying to push up within that kind of like play-in bracket, push up from like that 10-9 range and chase down the Clippers and Suns above them. This is a 231.5, 2 by way of the T-Wolves here. The most notable thing in this game, Nez, is on the T-Wolves side. Obviously, no Anthony Edwards, but we're going to be missing him for a little bit of time, and this is their 3rd game without him there. But it's this Naz Reid Q tag. We were talking about how he had a shooting shoulder issue and just something we didn't want to ape in on. And then he rolled his right ankle and then missed a game because of the right ankle there. So Naz Reid looms large as a Q tag in the last round because it'll have some push-pull effects on all the pieces that are going above and a lot of pieces getting drafted from this game. Basically 4 in every single draft, and from the T-Wolves side, that is, and sometimes 5 if you include Naz and or Dante. And then on the Blazers side, we got a Q tag on Vit Krejci. We got out tags on the G Leaguers, and then we got an out tag on Shaedon Sharpe still and Dame Lillard. So let's talk about the T-Wolves side here first, Nez, because we were all over it the other night, and it was Ayo and Gobert in the winning lineup last time out. We could see another super condensed evening of rotations here, especially if Naz Reid can't go. So what are your leans in this one?
Yeah, this is, one of my other favorite games here, loading up on the Minnesota side here. Love Randall tonight. Got a ton of Randall. I've got quite a bit of Rudy. I've got Rudy ranked pretty high. Let's see here. Literally like everybody in this game. Like I like Ayo. Mixing in Ayo here. I have like 16% Ayo. So he's like, he got that increase in price that we would have saw that we would have saw on this slate if he had done this against Phoenix, but he didn't. And then he goes up against Utah, but this is a pretty good spot here for Ayo. So I like him here again, where, probably we won't even have a blowout, and we'll see, a tight game here. And then, Jaden McDaniels, just playing the Jaden McDaniels stuff again. Mixing him and Jabari quite a bit. They're very similar, obviously, like stylistically, I think. Really, really fun, fast-paced game here. Condensed rotations. Hard not to love like each of these guys, and they're all available at like different rounds, which is great.
Yeah, no, I like it, dude. I basically have like a min 1 T-Wolf in like every damn lineup right now. I have so much Jaden through my first, whatever it was, 12, 13, 14 drafts this morning. I hand drafted them all, and I was like, I was basically flipping Jaden and Ayo's ADP and not paying the new Ayo tax kind of thing. And I was just kind of like taking Jaden. But I was taking some Naz Reid in the last round in case he goes, or we get like some swappability because he'll be under-owned relative to how good he is if we don't get another swap today kind of thing. Yeah. So if like Duren winds up being in and nobody can swap to Naz Reid, he'll be under-owned relative to how he'll project there. Bones is probably a bridge too far, but he had 18 actual last time, and I always got to bring up his name, 22 and 18 there as the minutes tick up. Love me some Bones. Yeah, I don't know, man. Slow-mo's actually been playing a decent amount here too. Just wanted to note up to 24s and 22s there. So Slow-mo firmly in the rotation there. Gobert versus Klingon, obviously like back and forth between the bigs, tough matchup for both sides there, but they'll have to match each other with size, at such a frequency that they're both on the floor the whole time that matchup doesn't really matter unless one guy gets in foul trouble. So yeah, I really like Julius Randle at and around ADP. I like Gobert as like the kind of end of that tier that I was talking about. Him and BI are kind of like the 15, 16, 17 pick for me every single time. And then Jaden and Io kind of mixing and matching that tier, but definitely overweight Jaden right now. So just these 5, can we buy back into Dante finding his shot?
I'm not.
Okay.
No.
All right. Sounds good to me. Let's move to the Portland side then, Nez. Obviously, you had the Denny at 3 conversation. Now that we have the Duran Q tag, so you're really jacking up Denny. I fully agree with you. Love Denny this evening. I was a little bit further down on Klingon than ADP. Like I liked some of those mid-tier guys a little bit more, but now that he's at, ADP 15 seems palatable. It seems fine to me, but I was a little bit down this morning. Just, the evergreen notion of like the splits outside of last game. And I don't want to get too hung up on last game, but the ceiling splits between like him and Time Lord just being so noteworthy.
Yeah, I'm kind of fading Klingon right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I just prefer Rudy to him.
Okay.
And yeah, people are unrelenting in their Klingon love. So yeah, I'm only going to get him if he falls, dude. I'm going to have a Klingon fade, which sucks because the ceiling still exists. But like, dude, pick 15 is kind of nuts today. I'm not going to lie.
It's a little rich.
Yeah.
It's a little rich. How do you feel about Drew, man? Do you like Drew more than Io? They go side by side.
I think I prefer Io.
Okay.
But I'm trying to mix in Drew. I'm pretty light Drew right now.
Okay. Yeah, he just kind of feels like that mean projection darling, like right in that range where it's like, where's my right tail coming when Denny's in? Like,
yeah, just doesn't exist.
Yeah, he's kind of like a guard version of Draymond Green.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty funny comp and pretty true. But yeah, dude, Denny just dominates the ball, so yeah. It's hard.
Okay, cool. Any love for Jeremy Grant in the last round? He's kind of underrepresented right now in my estimation. Anybody else that you would draft from Portland?
No. Don't think so.
Okay. All right. I want to point out Matisse Thybulle has been really good defensively in the limited minutes that he's played. Obviously, Tamani's always good. I would definitely have a sprinkle of the Time Lord tonight. Just he can do so much with so little, like these 21s, these 20s. Like he can just do a lot. And, Rudy's a spot where Klingon can get 2 quick ones. Definitely get 2 quick ones, So a little Time Lord, 24 minutes tonight on a short slate. That's kind of the high variance music I like to embrace.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that. But no, I love Time Lord, just not.
I like that. All right. I just wanted to point out Scoot's minutes have just been all over the place. It's hard to trust, but we do know there's ceiling in Scoot at isolated moments, but probably not tonight with Vic Krejci coming back and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no thanks.
Kentucky won, so Cat's in. That's the new analysis here.
That's funny as hell.
Those are the personal reasons. Actually, you know what we should find out? Where are those games being played today? Where is that portion of the bracket being played today? Like, is there a chance Cat is currently at that game, hiding in the rafters, not to be seen on TV, and that is the personal reasons?
No, it's in St. Louis.
Okay. Yeah.
So if he's there, it's over.
Yeah, for sure. Mike's saying that Drew's been falling to the 6. Like, that's a great click. He's saying this afternoon, but afternoon doesn't happen for another 9 minutes, my friend. So, yeah. Cat's posted up in Newark, New Jersey. Oh, good shit. All right. Let's keep going here, dude. Nothing else to say on that one. Basically 9 draftable pieces in there. A Jeremy Grant scroll is not the craziest thing in the world. Mix in some of that Q tag Naz Reid if he's able to go. These games are really impactful and they're playing really tight, and it's a good spread and good total.
I'm sorry, I was reading a text.
No, you're good. I was just summarizing.
Okay,
all right.
Okay, thanks.
On to the next one, dude. Second to last game on the slate, we got Memphis at home here. Also, just important to note that all 5 of these games are like a really tight band of start time. We're dealing 7:30, and then 3 8s, and then we get a 9 to close it off. So really tight slate. So lots of news could happen in this little like 30-minute window, and you just got to be ready for some potential swap stuff there. But everything looks decently clean this evening with the exception of the Pistons stuff, which we will get prior to lock there, and the Knicks stuff prior to lock. So relatively clean slate, but just in case there's any late breaking news. We got 15-point favorites on the road here. The Celtics going up against the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies still managing to do the hockey line changes, 25 minutes to 12 guys kind of vibe here. But we will take a couple out tonight, which makes maybe getting to someone a little bit more palatable, but the spread isn't overly encouraging. A 230.5, 15 by way of the Celtics, getting the most recent updated injury report for this one. Celtics side is pretty clean. We have Vooch listed as out still. And then just interesting to note that Amari Williams, who's a guy who has factored in the big rotation with the G Leaguers, he's been listed available today. So I don't know if they want to use some of his games on the 2-way or whatever, but just given the fact that it's 15.5 here, you could see like a shorter stint for Keita, and then you could see a larger portion of that 5 rotation played with Amari Williams this evening. So just wanted to put that on people's radar because Keita's getting drafted quite frequently. And, maybe rightfully so because the matchup is good and the total's good, but like, man, he might be really capped at like 22-ish minutes tonight and shouldn't be drafted like every damn time. And then on the Grizzlies side there, Santi, KPJ, Brandon Clark, Zach Edey, you guys know the drill here. They're all listed out. Scottie Pippen Jr., Jaw out. But the ones that are impactful for tonight, Jeremiah Meshack, who they're trying to manage the games on his 2-way deal, he is out. And then we have doubtful tags on Taj Gibson and doubtful tag on Gigi Jackson. So those are like kind of like the impactful rotation ones. I still count 12 bodies for them, even if those guys are removed. So there's that. But let's talk about the Memphis side first. Nez, can you play anyone on Memphis tonight who could potentially start and play garbage and play more than 25?
I think Ty Jerome checks like all but one of those boxes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a pretty interesting play. He's just, he's so efficient. Celtics, if memory serves, are friendly toward, letting teams chuck threes. So let Ty Jerome cook a little bit and see what happens. I think he's fine.
Yeah, I think fine's the operative word, right? Like you can see these just hitting 24 on the nose every single time. If he gives you 2 fantasy points per minute like he's capable of doing, it's awesome. It's going to be a bad matchup because he's probably going to get, like Derek White in his jersey and that sort of thing. But I mean, it's still a short slate. It's a guy who's capable of 2 fantasy points per minute, and it's got like the 3rd highest total or 2nd highest total on the slate.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, exactly.
Okay. Anybody else playable, dude?
No, not for me. No.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like maybe Hendricks. I don't know. 24 minutes against the Nuggets there puts up 41 fantasy points. A little bit thinner with the bodies there with no Gigi Jackson this evening, so just condenses things a little bit. And they've shown a propensity to be like, hey, we'll run some of these guys a little bit longer at times. But yeah, man, it's probably 25 for everyone, and Ty Jerome's the only guy with a usage rate that warrants being played at 25 minutes.
Yep, it sucks.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of like them and the Nets. You can just like write off the slate, and it condenses shit like so heavily.
Yeah.
I mean, Memphis shocked the world and beat the Nuggets the other night with a similar spread. I'm not suggesting they can do the same against Boston. Boston's a more complete team with like Tatum and stuff back, but like, I don't know.
That was so weird. I still don't know how that happened.
Yeah. Bizarre. All right, on the Boston side, dude, JB has a very frothy ADP there that I imagine the projections won't agree with. I imagine they'll pull like Denny and stuff like that over it. I put Jason Tatum on the cover 3 days ago when we made this just because I anticipated him having like a bad ADP relative to what he could do in this matchup. And it's somewhat true, man. Like being able to pair Tatum against Memphis with your Joker teams, just like anecdotally speaking, is like, whoa, okay, I guess. Like that seems like kind of a little bit of a gift. But yeah, just thoughts on the top end of Boston draft boards.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of JB right now, but I do think he has a pretty strong ceiling, right? He can like have those takeover games, and this is such a soft spot for him that he totally could. But I do think it comes with a lot of risk, and like we said off the top, after Jalen Johnson's so flat that like if you leave Jaylen Brown at 3 all day, you're gonna have a lot, just because everybody's mixing and matching. So, or they should be. I think they are. Yeah, I'm gonna be like 12%. Jaylen Brown, I would guess.
Okay. Cool.
Maybe less.
Yeah, respect it. I do want to just say, I kind of talked about the eye test the other day because I was watching some of these games, and I was just like, man, it looks like JB's just camped out in the corner when Tatum's running shit. And that was mainly from that Washington game. And like, I don't know if Tatum was just trying to get his before they knew they were going to pull the ripcord on it. But, yeah, I don't know, man. When you look at the usage in the stints here, like JB's hasn't gone anywhere. Like Tatum has a large usage, but like JB's hasn't gone anywhere. And I think those two are like really separating themselves from like Derek White and Peyton Pritchard right now. Now, who knows? Maybe you get a little bit of garbage time run today. Peyton stays in the ball game a little bit longer, but like he's not a garbage time guy, right? Like he's a 6 man. They cut that stint and then they play other guys in garbage. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I was overstated the impact that Jason Tatum, or maybe this is me overstating the impact that I thought Tatum was going to have on JB. That being said, they're way closer in terms of projection today than like ADP 3 and ADP 11. Like it's not that cut and dry.
No, it's really not like at all. It's basically a coin flip, slightly favored toward Jaylen Brown.
Yeah. Thoughts on Derek White, man? Like Derek White just kind of hitting those mean projection numbers over the last like 4 or 5 since Jason Tatum's been back. It's just been a bunch of stuff in the 30s, and he's just kind of like a 3-and-D guy right now, third option out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get excited about it. It's a really high ADP, but he's efficient, or somewhat efficient, I guess you could say. Yeah, I don't love it, but I've been taking him somewhat.
OG, if Cat is out, or Derek White today?
OG.
Yeah, they're like going side by side. What about Zinger or Derek White today?
I'm gonna say if it's typical usage for Zinger right now, I'll say Zinger.
Okay. What about the Atlanta guys? There's a big pocket of Atlanta guys that go like right in and around Derek White. Would you rather try and break off?
Did we skip Atlanta?
We might have skipped Atlanta by accident. We talked about all the matchups and stuff. We might have skipped Atlanta and nobody called us out on it.
Yeah, no, we totally skipped Atlanta because I like Atlanta.
Yeah, we were buzzing. Okay, well, this is a good segue to talk about Atlanta, juxtaposed to Derek White here. Atlanta, Jalen Johnson, despite the matchup, is just locked in at 2 today. It's just kind of the way the slate breaks, and it's what you have to do kind of thing. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is, he's going to get some tough stuff from Amon on the other side of the ball there, but like this little chunk of Onyeka versus Dyson versus Nah, they all just go within like 2 picks of each other, and Derek White is kind of like the separator of it. How are we ranking this tier?
I would rank it Onyeka, Dyson, White, Nah.
Okay. Sounds good. So you're going to be pretty overweight Onyeka if that is the case.
Yeah, I changed my stance up. I was pretty light on Onyeka to start, and I was just kind of overrating the defensive spot here against Houston. And I was like, oh, you know what? Like, it's actually going to be a really sick game. These guys are probably going to play a decent amount, and I don't think it's a bad spot for Onyeka. Like, he has some pretty rough box scores going on right now, but I think this game's going to be awesome. And yeah, I'm mixing and matching like Onyeka and Dyson. But I'm trying to get my Onyeka up. Like, to be fair, I haven't been doing this all day. Like, I'm light on Onyeka right now, but like I looked at it more and I like it. So I'm trying to get him up.
Okay, cool. Respect it, man. We talked about Houston rebounding rate. Like, they just haven't been the same since Steven Adams hasn't been there, and like the double big stuff. Like, we used to talk about them in the same breath as like the Hornets, and we were like, this team is just so good defensively, defensive rebounds, blah blah blah. And it's just like, it's not true anymore. So that bodes well for Onyeka's ability to hit glass tonight.
Yep.
Any love for CJ McCollum in the last round, backup 5 run for Jacques Landale, or Ricochet being a little bit extended because there's no Kuminga?
I'm not taking any of those guys, but CJ is definitely draftable.
Okay. Yeah, I like the CJ stuff. I mean, just like, if you're going to have all the other 4 guys 100% drafted and you're going to have CJ drafted like 40-ish% of the time, maybe even lower, why not, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Nez Bink tonight, already heard. Damn right. That's why he told me, yo, glaze over Atlanta, bro. He's like, don't bring up Atlanta.
Yeah, don't even do it. Don't even
fuck with them, bro. All right, dude. Anything else on the Celtics side? We're seeing our other Mike in the chat tell me that it's a great Peyton Pritchard versus the bench unit there. My issue with that is Peyton Pritchard used to have the bench handling all to himself, and like he would come off the bench and just like flamethrow. Now he's overlapping every damn time with some portion of JB, some portion of JT. Like, there's just always overlap for Pritchard. So Pritchard used to be like I agree. If the rotations were what they were a month ago, I'd be like, yo, fuck yeah, fire up Pritchard, let the bench get hot. He plays 30 off the bench. Like, now I'm like, he's not going to play garbage, and his bench unit handling is getting cannibalized by overlap. So maybe he gets hot from 3 because it's a good catch and shoot, but I don't know. In the last round, it's probably fine. But if he's anywhere close to like 70% drafted, I'd rather play CJ.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't have much love for Peyton Pritchard today.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a fine sprinkle for sure. Anyone else to get deep down to here? Like, I think the Kata ADP is bad, but I think the matchup is good. I think we're going to see Amari Williams tonight, and I think we're going to see like a decent amount of bench run, and that means we're going to get Kata, Garza, and Amari Williams chopping up 48 with the 3 of them. I mean, they do play a little bit of overlap with Garza and Kata, but like, man, I don't really want any part of that 3-headed monster.
No, me neither. I did like a couple Kata shares because I'm like, you know, if he does like he could go off. I just don't think it's likely. But
yeah,
dream spot for him in terms of like, you know, if he did have more minutes than we expected.
Yeah, and like when Amari's been listed available, like I've been paying attention to this. Like when the G Leaguers are listed out, then they do like the Garza blowout stuff, and like maybe there'd be something to get to. But when Amari's listed in, they use the days, you know, like they're not going to list him in to not play him, right? They're going to be like, yo, we're 15-point favorites. Like, let's get him some burn at the tail end, right? Like Missoula gets burned for the kid, right?
All right. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't familiar. So, okay.
If he is indeed, Matt Murphy's asking, Duran's questionable without a Q tag. Can you still swap off? Yeah, for sure. But I think he's got a Q tag. Just refresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a Q tag. He's got a Q tag. But yes, anyone who gets ruled out, you could swap. Like, it doesn't matter. Like we saw it yesterday with Stephen Castle, right? Like Castle was no Q tag all day long, and then he was still able to get swaps off of. Yeah, Q tag doesn't pertain to swaps. Any player that goes from non-Q to out is swap viable.
Yep.
All right, dude. Late night hammer that you can only find on Underdog Fantasy because the other people kept it off the slate for whatever reason. They just want some showdown redacted money or some bullshit like that. But it's only an hour later, and it's a great game to keep on the slate. Meaningful game for both teams here. A 238 Nuggets at home, coming off of tough games, man. Tough back-to-back there. A loss against Memphis. Just a back-to-back where they blow the doors off on one end and don't play full, and you get floor games. And then on the second night, they lose to Memphis. So they get the Raptors tonight at home, 7-point favorites for the Nuggets. We're going to get Aaron Gordon back this evening here. So, Nuggets side of things, decently clean. We were just without the G Leaguers, and then we were without Peyton Watson, who is trending in the right direction. As soon as this weekend, allegedly, I don't know, would like to see him with like a doubtful tag or a Q tag and then go from there. But then the Raptors are clean as well, dude. Just out tags on all the G Leaguers and then a doubtful tag on Colin Murray Boyles that we have been talking about for the last, 2.5 weeks here, where he was an out and now he is he was an out tag. Now he's a doubtful tag. So he's trending towards getting back in there and impacting that 5 rotation. Let's start with the Nuggets because it's usually easier to do so. There's usually only 3 people to draft here when they are all in. It is Joker at 1 with a bullet. It is Jamal Murray, then where, Nez?
Aaron Gordon, and that's it? Like...
But Jamal, where for you?
Where? It's tough because he's in that Joker cohort. Like, you're gonna have to beat the Joker Jamal teams, but I think Jamal is as good as 1-2 turn in terms of like how good I think he can be.
Is it good flip the board material, or is it bad because it's so correlated with Joker?
It's probably bad, but like I would still do it. I would still do it.
What's the path to beating Joker teams with Jamal from the 6-7?
Denny. Denny could go nuts tonight, man.
Okay.
And I think he will. I think he's gonna go off tonight. Like, I'm really excited about that one. That's my hope. Like, I feel like that's like the best way to beat these Joker teams is with Denny personally.
The other one I would say is OG, because OG just from the 3-4 angle is a guy that never falls back to the Joker teams and always lives at that side of the board. So you get a contrarian pairing of Jamal and OG. That's a potential one.
Okay.
Because like some combination of all the Atlanta guys and RJ Barrett fall back to Joker at some frequency, right? So your combo mapping will have like Joker, Jamal, insert player, and then one of the Atlanta guys at like a decent frequency. So it's kind of like, where are the pivots that we can find? So Denny's a really good one. JB would be another one because JB can never be paired with Joker. Like Tatum would be a bad one. Sengun would be a bad one because they could potentially be paired with Joker. Zinger's going to be paired with Joker. It's tough. Gobert would probably be one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. There's your path, because I mean, maybe that's a more bullish sentiment to pull up Gobert to put with some of your Joker teams than it is to put Jamal with Gobert. But
I've done some Gobert and Ingram, and Rudy
with
Rudy and Ingram, yeah.
With Joker, yeah, I like that a lot. Mm-hmm. I like that. Yeah, Denny versus Randall overtime game. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
that would be clutch. But dude, I can't believe Denver is 7-point favorites.
7-point favorites right now?
Yeah. That seems pretty big.
Impact of Gordon coming back to that lineup, impact of Island game. I don't know.
Home court, maybe?
Home court. Yeah, elevation. I mean, it's definitely hard. It's definitely like hard to fathom after what we saw last time, but last time was a back-to-back. Neither of these teams play until Saturday. Denver's at home again, so they're not traveling. Toronto's starting a West Coast swing, so they're going to Phoenix. I don't know.
Yeah, on Sunday.
Yeah, on Sunday. Sorry, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, all that to say, it just like makes me like Jamal like a lot, and I feel like if you just want to it's one thing like, okay, like, yeah, maybe you don't need to beat the Joker teams, but like, maybe you just build like cashing teams and, you just try to soften the blow against your non-Joker teams. I guess that counts for something as opposed to just trying to win, I guess, and you don't have Joker. Because I think Jamal's a smash, man. Like 238, 7-point favorites here. Like and Jamal has not been good lately, He's been cold. And I think if we saw some 50 balls in Jamal's box scores, like he might not even be falling back to these Joker teams. But, he's still playing a lot. And he's going to get a pretty nice on-ball matchup at any given point.
Yeah, to be fair, it was just kind of like one bad shooting night against the Lakers, who, by the way, dude, StatMuse threw up a stat this morning. Best defensive rated lineup in basketball this season, minimum 100 minutes played together, which is a small threshold. And this lineup will be on the smaller end of said threshold because it is the Lakers starting lineup without LeBron in it, with Reeves in it. And that's a very small sample size lineup because it's been rare that they've played. It was basically just the last 2 weeks that they've played with Reeves and without LeBron, but then also Marcus Smart and Ayton have been healthy and Rui's been healthy. So it is a very small sample size. There's a lot of noise in that shit, but I saw that stat and I was like, oh, damn, like maybe they did do work on Jamal that night.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see the tie-in. I was, So, and even last game, right? If you expand the box score, like against Memphis, like he didn't get, like he's 3 straight games without 20 points, like the Sixers game was atrocious. And then, 2 nights ago got home thanks to the, the counting stats the assists and the boards. So yeah, he's due for an explosion.
Like it. All right, cool. Let's then talk about the rest of Denver. Can you take Aaron Gordon in the last round? Can you take Cam Johnson? Aaron Gordon sat the last one, but we did see him hit 34 minutes at one point there. That Sixers game was a blowout there. So can we see him return to big minutes tonight?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, especially if they're going to be 7-point favorites, I'd assume he's playing a big part in that. Yeah, I like Aaron Gordon tonight a lot in the 6th.
Yeah, definitely the tougher of the matchups. I would imagine he gets Scotty Bolway on him, like just by circumstance, because you got Pirtle. Yeah, you got Pirtle versus Joker. Then you get Scotty Bolway, who's good on ball defense for wings, and small ball 5 stuff against Aaron Gordon.
Yeah.
I mean, not that really matters. If he plays 34 minutes in the 6th round, he's a fucking smash with the highest total on the slate.
Right.
Yeah. Like just given with the parameters that we're working with. Do you think Jamal's a good matchup? Like he gets IQ, but could get some shed on him. Do you think Jamal's good tonight? Like matchup wise?
Yeah, I kind of think so for the most part. Like, I mean, how many minutes is Shed going to play?
Yeah, probably like 24 or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably good. Jamal 25, 24, 18 in that Chicago game. He's basically just second unit on ball. Anyways, any love for Cam Johnson, who's starting to see the shot fall? Puff's brother?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right, cool. Just 3 draftable on that side. And then let's talk about the Raptors, dude. Highest total on the slate here. Scotty's been falling in rooms, and he's been paired with some of the Joker teams. We talked about BI being a pull-up play to the Joker teams and or end of a tier guy. I think all these guys are going to project half decently, and I think there's 5 draftable pieces in every single draft here. Let's rank them out for the people.
Yeah, pretty much how you have it, and I would maybe go IQ over Pirtle.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still scared of Scotty Barnes, but pretty good spot for Scotty. So I'm going to be underweight most likely, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's all I got, man. I think that's pretty good, dude.
I will say just to give comments on all. I like all these guys basically. I've got like 16% IQ. Mixing and matching in the 6th round because there's a lot of good 6th round picks. Mixing and matching Pirtle, he falls to the 6th. Love RJ, got a ton of RJ. Love Ingram. Yeah, love these guys. Love everybody pretty much except Scotty.
Okay, sounds good to me, man. Respect it. That's 6 up. That's 6 down. Let's hop in the streets here. Let's fire up the solver. It'll be my first look at the hashtag models and projections as we go here. Make sure I got everything good there.
I'm gonna take
and let's get after it, man.
Quick leak before I join you for half a dinger.
All right, sounds good. Matt suggesting a Raptor in every lineup. The ADPs line up that way too. So there's that. What's Mike got for me here? Side note on Joker, I've seen him drop in some of the dance drafts to 4. Wow. I had a very, very interesting conversation on the yacht at Dog Bowl with Magikarp. And Magikarp has done almost, I think he said like 100 drafts at that point in time for the dance. And, just not a full-fledged basketball guy. He plays multiple sports, but definitely a basketball, that's his jam, right? And he had a very articulate analysis of the dance for me that revolves around Joker. And he said the dance, like we lose sight of the fact of like getting teams to the finals and stuff. And he said we have a problem with fundamentally have a problem. It is the Joker problem, and it's the Joker thesis. And what we should be solving for in every single draft is solving for Joker. And it was very intelligent and very smart. And just something that I hadn't considered or thought about, because he said they're going to play tight series. He's going to be the highest scoring guy in any round that he plays. Like SGA and these guys, even if you think they're going to make the finals, you're kind of just luck boxing trying to get an SGA team through because they're only going to play 4 or 5 games in a series. Whereas like Denver is perfectly bad enough and perfectly amazing enough from a fantasy standpoint that they could play 6 or 7 game series the whole time through, and Joker's just going to run circles around everyone in terms of scoring. And I thought it was very intelligent. So yes, forgive me, Gumby, sharing the yacht alpha. The secrets are safe with me outside of this, but I did ask Magikarp if I could share at some point, and he said, let it breathe a little bit, but share it. Yeah, but it's basically the dance is solving for Joker, and I thought it was very intelligent. Denny comes back to us, my friend. I think we're both going to want to take Denny, and then we could start talking about who we want to pair him with.
Yeah, I'm Denny here, and then probably Şengün.
Okay. Yeah, Amin goes in front in this one. You want to play the Duran Q-Tag game? We could play the Duran Q-Tag game. You could see his projection is very strong, but Şengün's not that far off. You could also see this Jamal Murray is very strong as well if we wanted to do flip the board thing. So okay. Go ahead and take Şengün here on Nez's suggestion.
Yeah, I need to do some Jamal board flipping, I think. Feeling feisty.
Yeah, I think it's pretty sharp, man, because I do think there is a tier of 2, and then there's a tier of 3 through 16, 3 through maybe 17. And anytime you can pair 3 of them in a contrarian fashion, I think you're kind of making waves over the field.
Yeah. Damn, dude. Duran Q-Tags. Tough. Mm-hmm. I don't want to auto today, but I'm not gonna be able to max unless I fire some autos on the rest of these, and just have like no idea where to put Duran if I'm gonna fire auto drafts.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I didn't know this. Gumby out here might win he wins the dog bowl and then might win the double dribble. Woo!
Let's relax.
That's gonna go hard because I did 0 double dribble teams. That's funny.
Wow.
Numi just put a couple in the pool for him.
Here, you can have mine.
Hey guys, do me a favor. Get your Mr. Good Boys in the chat today. Mr. Good Boy turns 5 right here, right now.
No way.
Yeah, Mr. Birthday Boy.
Wow, Mr. Birthday Boy. That's great. Happy birthday, young Tuck.
Young Tuck daddy. Dude, you know what? We talked about it on the bracket show there that Nick and I always do a bracket versus each other. We went out last night and just having dinner and watching the games in the background and that sort of thing. And it warmed my heart. I came back from the bathroom and I looked over her shoulder and she was checking the Black and Yellow Dog app on her bracket to see who she was supposed to be cheering for in the game. And the reason I thought of that right now is because her name on the platform is Mrs. Good Boy because Mr. Good Boy was already taken.
Mrs. Good Boy, that's awesome.
It doesn't even make sense. Mrs. Good Boy.
She's married to your dog. It's like Viper coming up to me and my wife and saying, "Hi, Mrs. Viper."
Hi, Mrs.
That was incredible.
There we go. There's my guy, Best Ball Noah, dropping the Mr. Good Boys. HPD. Yeah, we're gonna get him. I'm gonna get him a little steak here. Get him a bone.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's his good boy. It's a non-binary furry.
You guys are nuts.
Oh, good, clean fun. All right, Nez, as I suspected, man, like you could see in the projection kind of aligns with some of our thoughts we had earlier that this whole tier, man, 33, 38, 31, 35, 37, like it's a full mix and match on the right-hand side of the board tier. So we can get a little crazy with it out here and then do maybe a little bit of double scrolling at the end. Ingram was kind of like the end of a tier for me there. So I don't know, man. Pulling RJ up and then Onyeka kind of feels like a good pairing here.
Yeah, I love RJ.
You love RJ? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was a faller earlier in the day. He was living on the other side of the board. It looks like the projections are quite bullish on him. So, yeah, maybe this is kind of a new ADP for him. And then do you want to do something funky like, I mean, Dyson's going to be the projection, darling, but you said you liked Onyeka more?
I think so. I mean, right. I have more Dyson at the moment, but like Onyeka, I think is actually like a pretty nice pick right now. Yeah.
I'm good with it, man. I'm good with it indeed. Hey, there we go. Shout out to Lewis there dropping by. He had a top 15 last night or a top 12 last night.
Yeah, he had a sick team. He caught a really late LeBron in the middle of like the FUD and had two swaps there and almost took it down.
Nice. Right on. Let me see here. I'm going to just give our show a little retweet. I'm about to hop in a danger.
Let's go. Gumby asking a very good question. I wonder where the LeBron FUD came from.
We're all looking for the guys.
There's no way a 40-year-old man.
There's no way a 40-year-old man. Did you see Mike? Mike had a social clip this morning. I didn't watch the NBA bit yet, as I'm prone to do, or else I would just repeat everything he says. But he had a social clip this morning that I saw where he was saying that we shouldn't be praising LeBron to be the first to the arena yesterday.
I did not see this.
Yeah, so effectively everybody was talking about how the plane arrived at like 5 a.m. Then there's the 3-hour chime change. Then there's whatever. But LeBron was still the first guy into the barn last night to get ready for the game. And he was everyone's praising him for that. Like, oh, look at how hard he's working still in the old age. And then Mike was just like, no, this is just a byproduct of being like old effectively, where it's like you still wake up at the exact same time. Like he's an early riser now, like all this kind of thing. It was a very good bit.
That's funny. I'll have to go back and watch that.
Nez, I got getting together with some boys tonight that I grew up playing baseball with. Our coach puts on our annual fantasy baseball draft this evening. So excited for that.
Oh, that's fun. Home league drafts are so fun, but I end up disbanding it, and just ignoring my team.
Yeah,
1 month in, but it's still fun to draft.
Cranking a couple pints with the fellas and then forgetting whose turn is it.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I think the projection darlings here would be Jabari and Dennis Jenkins, and I'm totally cool to land the plane that way. I think Naz Reid is in play too, especially when you have Denny and you don't take Jaden and or Julius Randle. Could also do the scroll the F down B-ball Paul and take like a more binary stance where we go like, hey, Duran's out, B-ball Paul out projects Dennis Jenkins at that point in time. What do you like?
Paul's a fun play, but I think Jenkins is safer.
All right, dude. Are we playing for first or are we playing for last?
Playing the cash.
We're playing the cash. All right, we're playing the cash. Dennis Jenkins cashes this lineup for us. There's a Denny Avdia, Alfred Sengun, RJ Barrett, Onyeka Okongwu, Jabari Smith Jr., and a Dennis Jenkins 6th round click there. Man, definitely some palatable, viable clicks down here. Like Aaron Gordon still on the board. CJ McCollum, if you want to flip that around. Asar is kind of like the same thesis, but with a little bit of a minute ceiling. I think Guy Santos is a little bit underrepresented in ADP relative to the minutes he could play tonight, especially without Moses Moody. Naz Reid, you see this nice projection on Naz Reid. If he plays tonight and plays through the Q tag, he is a dude who plays through Qs too. So there's that. Melton could be a big time scorer tonight. Jeremy Grant this evening. If everybody else is playing the Portland guys, why don't you just play the other guy who's going to play 33 minutes tonight? Obviously, the box scores haven't been great, but has the potential to score. I think it's a really fun slate. Just don't get hung up on the notion that it's Joker or bust, and think through the notion that, what's Joker teams looking like? What are Joker teams paired with? And then pivot off of that instead.
Yeah, well said.
All right, dude. It's time. Ding her, hardly knew her. Let's get it. Gonna jump in here. 62 dingers left for me. That is a big chunk for the weekend. One more spot. Oh my God, you guys are fast today.
20's nothing. You got that.
Dude, it's 60.
Well, 12, I mean. Well, you said you want to get to 100. Sorry.
Yeah, 12 for this weekend. 12 for this weekend.
Yeah, you got that.
I justified my behavior patterns yesterday on stream. I am thoroughly disappointed in myself for not maxing the dinger this year. I am to the point where I am thinking about just autoing 65 of them just to feel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be pretty interesting. I think there are some. I was thinking through how I would auto MLB in terms of the way when I think about auto drafting best ball, I start at the roster construction, and I cap it. I don't leave any room for loosey goosey. If I auto, I know exactly the structure I'm going to draft, and I think 8-6-6 would probably be the easiest to auto.
Sure.
Just punt pitcher. Go heavy on outfield, and that seems to be the easiest and safest way.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's good alpha because I hadn't really thought about it through the dynamics of it yet. I think it's a tier 2 for us, and I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised that we get Aaron Judge at 2, Nez.
Love it.
All right, let's do it. We got the Sock Muffin in here. We got the Moose in here. We got No Bo Socks. Who else is hanging out with us? We got Bob Seeger.
Love it. Dude, my top 3 exposure in best ball this year is putrid.
What do you got?
So I have 3.6% Shohei.
3.6% Shohei.
Averages what? 8.3?
Right, yes.
11.7% Judge.
Okay, so now you can't complain about the Shohei because you were just taking Judge over him.
16. It equals 14.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
And I have 5% Juan Soto.
All right. Yeah. So you're a little bit. You're running a little poor at the top spots for sure, but you definitely have a stance of Judge over Ohtani. So you can't really. Yeah. So the contextually citing both of them was.
But people are getting more Judge than me, but organically. Like I'm out here trying to be the judge guy, and I can't be because I'm living on the right goddamn side of the board, the back right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, dude, that might be the spot to be this year. You never know, man. Corbin Carroll been falling like that. Now Corbin Carroll looks like he'll be ready for opening day. Like if you've been the guy, pairing Corbin Carroll with like Julio Rodriguez or something, like that could win the dinger, no problem.
Like easy, just rubbing it in my face in the comments. It's 10% of all three of those guys. Over
10% of all four. Wow. The Schwarber one, I wouldn't be flaunting, dog. I wouldn't be flaunting that one.
Yeah,
is this an OBP league? This is an OBP league?
Bombs only, baby.
Sean covered up the ballot, so I get peer pressured in the autos. John's been withdrawing a little bit since when Nez was account balance shaming. He said he should have seen it the 2 days before that.
Ugh. I'd rather not.
Dude, Bobby Witt falling to 9 in this one. All right.
People are outfield pilled.
Yeah. Roman Anthony getting pulled up to the right side of the board has become a little bit of a thing. J-Ram fell in a couple rooms earlier because he had like a day-to-day thing, but it sounds like he'll be totally fine for opening day.
Roman flip is fun.
Yeah. Look at this. Brent Rooker at 6. Maybe setting up like the Rooker Kurtz like super stack in the middle here. Yeah, I love it, dude. Slim. Cool. Dude, I did what I said, and I've done it 3 times now. The Julio, Raleigh, Randy Rosarina from the 5.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's always there, too. And just ADP's so sticky in baseball. It's crazy, man. Nobody's got the takes, dude.
Very, very sticky.
Oh, Nets, who are some of your highest owned players right now?
Connor Griffin.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I got a ton of Griffin. A lot of Mitch Keller.
Oh, buddy.
Hell yeah.
Dude, we get Gunnar Henderson to come back to a Judge team. Let's fucking roll, baby. I knew it was going to be a good day.
That's pretty. Yeah, a lot of Mitch Keller, of course.
Yep.
But I think those are 2 understandable picks. I don't know. I've slowed down on Griffin. He's starting to fall again. So 30% Ketel Marte.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
30% Kyle Manzardo.
30% Kyle Manzardo. Let's make this pick here. I got the easy ranks in here. We could do Junior. We could do Pete Alonso for the stack. We could do Cal Raleigh, or we could start with an ace.
I think we should stack.
Pardon me?
I think Alonso. I think we should stack. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you're staring at 2 guys who could both hit 50 home runs, you may as well take the dude who's going to be paired with your previous pick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. And that's rare, too. That's hard to get those 2 together.
Bound cooking up an Ohtani over Judge stand like you never seen before.
Go figure.
Diversification be damned.
I also have 27% Chase DeLauder.
Yeah, that's kind of evergreen with you. Like just bet on talent and health be damned. Like asymmetrical upside bet.
Mm-hmm. And then 23% O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah, asymmetrical upside plus homerism plus just hits the ball harder than everybody.
Yep, just my guys. Those are my guys at the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Sounds good, dude. Yeah, I wouldn't fault any of those decisions. Let's I'll take a look at mine here. 84 baseball drafts thus far. Garrett Cole is my highest owned player. Michael Nelson Trout, Addison Barger, more condensed at pitching than I would have originally thought. Shane Baz, Chase Burns, Framber Valdez, Ranger Suarez, George Kirby, and then Matt McClain and Cam Smith, and then Ketel Marte, Corey Seager, Colson Montgomery, Max Muncy, unfortunately Hunter Green, and Lawrence Butler, who have some injury concerns there, and then Yordan Alvarez. Kind of like mine, dude.
Yeah, those are fun. Addison Barger is a really fun stance. You know, that's our guy.
Infield
got to be overweight Mike Trout.
Yeah. I did. I was listening to Eno yesterday. They did a fun exercise. Stop me if you heard it already.
No.
Did you hear? Okay. They did a fun exercise where they said projections sometimes lie. And, we talk about projections every single day in every single sport, and that's common knowledge for us, but maybe not for like the vast majority of the baseball community. And they basically talked about projecting WAR over a model and trying to get like a differentiator on WAR plus or minus their projection. And that's how you win the league. So they were drafting for like your highest WAR players above projection. Okay. So, he took like Judge and Witt, which makes sense because they're like 10 WAR players, but models can only project them for 5 or 6 or whatever, like that sort of thing. But he also ended up taking Mike Trout in that draft and just saying that like the models are going to be wrong because the right tail is so much further if it happens, kind of thing. And like the asymmetrical upside of like guys like that. Like, hey, what if a Hall of Famer just decides to be a Hall of Famer for one last kick at the can, right? Or whatever. Like and then some of the other guys that they took were like, Bryce Terang and Miguel Garcia and Connor Griffin, like these guys that were like, hey man, the right tails are so much further to get away from mean projection. And I think that's what your profile kind of like encompasses, right?
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's a accidental way of what I was doing.
Nezzy takes, we are up here. I think I would pound the table for Byron Buxton here just because of like outfield quote unquote scarcity in this range. But I'll hear you out.
This is a pretty nice fall for Bryce Harper.
Okay. You want to do it? You want to take 3 infielders with our first 4 picks?
Yeah. When you have Aaron Judge, like you can do that.
Okay, sure. Does that mean we're going to take 4 and stack it up with Turner, or is that like too insane?
That's probably a bridge too far. I would go a pitcher or Buxton, I think.
All right, let's do Buxton. I want to get a little bit more than this 9%. Like if I'm looking at dudes who like the question, and I mean, this is a very frothy one because health is a huge asterisk when it comes to Byron Buxton versus like other players in baseball. And I'm well aware of that. But like, if I'm looking at a dude in the 5th round where like my only concern is health, and other than that, he's a 1st round pick, like Buxton's like the 101 of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Asymmetrical upside, injury, be damned type of thing.
Right. Yeah. Actually, if you guys didn't see, I tweeted out a team that I drafted like 2 days ago, and it was literally the all upside team, with the exception of like one. I would call myself a little bit of a fraud for like one of the Manny Machado picks. I think it was Manny Machado, but I'll share it with you because I don't know if you saw this team there, Nez, because this was the all asymmetrical ceiling. All that matters is right tail outcomes. And it was Skeens, DeGrom, Strider, King, Glasnow, Drew Rasmussen, and Luis Severino. And then it was Kurtz, Machado, Sal Stewart, Matt McClain, Colson Montgomery, Jorge Polanco's a little bit of a fraud pick, and then Miguel Vargas. And then it was Judge, Buxton, Trout, Toolshed, Trent Grisham, Matt Wallner. So it was like a full-fledged, like, this is 1st place or 11th place, no in between.
That's pretty fun though. That's definitely a fun one. You get Strider back to full health. You get Glasnow back and healthy, and if those outfielders all hit, like, yeah, that team is just like so dirty.
Yeah. I was looking at Eno. He did a final rankings update on his pitching stuff before the end of Dinger season here, or for fantasy baseball season for them. And it was crazy to see. He had all 3 Dodgers way above market in a row. And now maybe that's like a managed league thing where you like have to choose who they're starting against and you have to like whatever. But like he had it like Glasnow, Sheehan, Snell, and they were all like 21 to 23 in his rankings. And on our site, they go like 50 to 53 all in a row.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I thought so.
Huh. Damn. How much do you have a Sheehan?
Not a ton, I don't think. I was not buying it early on, and now that he kind of looks like he has fortified a rotation spot and stuff, I'm still kind of like, okay, but like, I'm trying to get it up. We can look right now thanks to the easy tool here. 6.9%.
Nice.
Nice. We're kind of getting this like little sweet spot of the draft there where I take pitching or Mike Trout. Mike Trout goes right in front of us there to the sock muffin. I think we probably don't want infield here. So I'd probably lean one of these pitchers. Who's your favorite between Sale?
Gilbert.
Gilbert? Yeah, me too.
Love Logan Gilbert, man.
Yeah, so does Eno. And I actually posted when he posted the rankings. When he posted the rankings, I actually was like, wow, forearm strains be damned, because he talked about the forearm strain so much with Logan, and he has him at like 7 in his rankings, like him and Wu side by side.
Dude, Logan's such a beast. Like, he was so good even when he came back.
Right. Yeah. Willie Adames, who the easy ranks really like, is staring us in the face, but I think we have like an outfield and or pitcher problem here. So I'd probably say Sale. What do you like?
Yeah, Sale or Joe Adell.
Who do you prefer?
Let's go Sale.
Okay.
Let's lean into the Aaron Judge factor and just count on him just doing so much work that you can, amass really, really strong points at the rest of the positions.
Mm-hmm. Clip that. I'm trying to get it up. 6.9.
The sequence was so good.
Joel saying, man, only 3 dingers to go. Starting to feel some separation anxiety. I wish, Joel, maybe I could slide you a couple bucks. You could do a couple drafts for me over the weekend, bro.
Oh, it's funny. These drafts are starting to feel really fun. Like, I was definitely bullshitting a little bit today, but like, at least it was fun.
Right.
Like, early on, like it's hard. It's really hard to draft before spring training for me. Like it takes a lot. But I'm really enjoying these fast drafts right now. Kind of being a diversification, bro, outside of like my top like 10 a little bit. I'm really starting to get flat. Not to dox a Jay Baconator strat, but if you're here, you get it. He is taking the stance of like no pitchers over, I think 15% in his exposures. Yeah, I should probably start mixing and matching way more, and just I think that's like for sure the move, right? Just lean into what the thesis is with pitching, and that it's super random and injuries happen all the time. So yeah, I'm starting to take that approach.
It also gives you like a little bit of untapped upside in terms of like 2 start weeks in the finals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am just going to click on something real quick because I think this is a really don't make noise. All right. I'm going to drop this in the chat here because there's a interesting question here. Oh, Maha Jabroni, he's in the draft with us. What up? What up? I'll answer your question in a half second there. KK10 DFS might do like 10 dingers. We saw Matt say something similar in the chat there where he was like, hey, I thought I was going to do like 3 and now I've done like 40. Just get in here, have some fun. It's really hard to go wrong, man. As long as you don't take more than 7 at any position other than pitcher, you can get up to 8 on occasion. But yeah, just if you stay a little bit balanced, you're aware of outfield scarcity and then it kind of falls off a cliff. You can mix it up and have some fun, but I'm going to drop a link in the chat. Go watch this one if you missed it. That's Often on the Clock with Pete, and Dark Sheep came on, and it was like a really good, just like entry-level discussion of like how to dip your toes in the water, because these drafts are really fun.
Yeah. Agree with John there. Watch that video.
Nez, we could do a Varsho thing. We could stack Trent Grisham. We could do Nolan McLean, who I do not have a ton of. You can see I got a decent amount of Kirby. Nolan McLean's kind of been a riser. I'd be a proponent of that.
Yeah, I saw after seeing him in the World Baseball Classic, it's like tough not to draft these guys when you see him. Like, right? God, he's so good.
Yeah, I was like, this motherfucker's got vertigo. He's a rookie. Like, he's not even going to pitch. And then you watch the World Baseball Classic and you're like, holy shit, motherfucker, Skeens 2.0.
Hey, he's so good, dude. He's nasty.
He's nice with it.
Yeah.
Michael Busch goes there and Bo Bichette goes there. I mean, Varsho sets up a backstack for one of my favorite players. We could also do Trent Grisham here. We could do another pitcher. Who do you like?
I think Varsho upside.
Okay. I think
he was really good whenever he was healthy. And I know that's always been the thing.
He hammered lefties in the playoffs too.
Yeah, he's so good.
Like, glove keeps him in center, and then yeah.
And this lineup should be pretty good too. So yeah, I'm a fan of Varsho, but John, I have to depart. Almost made it to exactly halfway through, so we'll take it.
Perfect. Well executed. I will crash this plane into the ground. Don't worry, my friend.
Land it.
I'll try my best.
Peace, guys.
All right. Peace,
no strip tonight, probably.
Oh, no strip after date night. Look at this guy.
Gonna be buzzing.
This guy's going movie, dessert, a couple wobbly pops, and then he's going, hey babe, just have a nice night's sleep. I'm gonna draft a couple dingers instead of dinger.
How does that not sound like the dream? I mean, who's got it better than me?
Nobody's got it better, Nez. All right, buddy. Good luck tonight. All right, let's tap into the chat here. The late night non-stream drafts are super fun. All right, I got to get access to that. I'm going to get some late ones in here. It's, wedding weekend for some family stuff, but I'm going to be buzzing. I'm going to be having some wobblies. I'm going to be firing, 3 at night. I did do 1 last night while I was watching the end of a hockey game or whatever. So yeah, I got to get in there. Takes a pitcher out of the ranks above 15%. I wonder if that's a crazy idea. You hit 15, you just take them out. Dan J was doing that. Interesting stuff. Maha Jabroni, love to see it. When I've been doing builds like this from the four hole, I just hammer 8 pitchers mid rounds. Thoughts? Okay, let's tap in to his build. So heavy outfield build, pulls up Cody Bellinger, gets a Jazz Chisholm stack there. Stacks up nice. Oh, he's stacking like crazy, and then goes Strider, Pivetta. Yeah, man. I wouldn't necessarily say you have to go 8 on a build like this. I think Nez is more of a proponent of 8 than I am. Like, when I hammer these mid-tier guys who could turn into like asymmetrical upside aces, like both you and I have similar builds right now. We spent a little bit more capital on it. But when you have these guys who can turn into league winning starters, I don't think you have to go 8. I would spend a little bit more capital in like these middle rounds at the positions if you're going to go 8. And then my last 2 picks are like pitcher dart throws, that's where I would be at. Connor Griffin staring us in the face. That would be a touching tribute to Nez. Dude, Dylan Cruz got sent down. Colton Cowser stacks and is illuminated in the easy ranks here for us. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think doing the Connor Griffin plus Marcell Ozuna stack would be good. So let's take Connor Griffin first, and then we will take whoever the Moose doesn't take. So if the Moose doesn't take, both Cowser and Ozuna, which I don't think he will. He's got 4 outfielders and he's got Ohtani here. He's also got a Chicago stack going where he can add Swanson to it. We will just take whichever one of the outfielders comes back to us and do a little stack there. So he takes Cowser, which is unfortunate because I prefer Cowser in a vacuum a little bit over Ozuna. But now this is why we set it up this way. We get a skinny stack and a touching tribute to Nez of the Pittsburgh stuff there. Yeah, not bad. Let me refresh this real quick, just because we're getting some notification. 100% Cade Horton. I got a decent bag of Cade Horton. I like Cade Horton this year, man. Should have won Rookie of the Year last year if he had just had his last 2 or 3 starts. He got shut down. Drake Baldwin wins instead. He had a better year. He's not going to wow you with like strikeouts and stuff like that, but like he's just a good, solid pitcher who could lead that team in innings this year. And they're going to be a contending team, right? Also, that park's been low-key good to pitch in recently, especially at the start of the year with the wind blowing in and the colder temperatures. But yeah. Noah's saying I want to stay flat at pitcher. So hard considering I take them in the same round 9 through 15. It's impossible. Yeah, man. Structurally, if your builds are all structurally somewhat the same, you're naturally going to funnel to condensed ownership. And that's kind of what you're seeing with like my ownership thresholds there at pitcher is like I'm living in this upcoming pocket of like, Shane Baz has ceiling, Garrett Cole has ceiling and was ahead of timeline. Like that's the pocket that I've been living in. And it is like a live and die by the sword because your lineups could fall off in a big way. But if you happen to be like, if those guys happen to reach like ceiling and you're kind of like scattered through that range, and like the Skeens, the Crochets, and the Scooball don't break the slate, or they're the most likely dudes on planet Earth to be injured, wind up being injured, then you're going to be sitting pretty. So it's a tough balancing act. Line of scrimmage, Charlie saying, I know 776 or 767 is usually king, but I've been doing a decent amount of 866 in the baseball eliminators. Feel like pitching floor over the grind could work. That makes sense in the eliminator. We talked about it a little bit there. Nez was a big proponent of it in the eliminator because 2-start weeks also mean more for the entirety of the season in the eliminator, right? Because you're literally getting cut off. If I miss 2-start weeks throughout the regular season, well, I can get carried by bats. I don't have to win a week. Like I can be last place in my pod for like 2 weeks in the dinger, and it doesn't matter. In the eliminator, my season's over. So like floors, not roars in the eliminator makes a lot of sense. And trying to encapsulate some of those like 2-start weeks makes a lot of sense, right? Pretty balanced start right now, a 3-4-4. You guys can see this is kind of a pocket where I take Ranger Suarez. I don't have a ton of Jack Flaherty. We could switch things up here and get a little weird with it. We could go ahead and take Zach Gallen now that we know he's going to be an opening day starter. Didn't have a great spring and also had like a couple bad starts in recent memory, but like, hey, let's just mix in a floor guy alongside some of this ceiling. We'll go and do that. He takes Flaherty thereafter. I think Wilson Contreras is my favorite pick in this range. I like Wilson Contreras. I like Ranger Suarez. I liked Matt McClain a lot more when his price tag was cheaper. And then I really like Shane Baz as kind of like a ceiling arm in here. Just let him get unleashed outside of Tampa. Nate Eovaldi is kind of like the same bet as Suarez, just different team, different park. Let's have some fun here. Let's take Matt McClain at his new elevated price tag, just because I called my shot early in Dinger season. He was my highest exposed. Everyone poo-pooed on me on the X machine, and now he's like the highest riser in all of Dinger season. So evergreen, suck my dick. But yeah. Yeah, Varsho hurt too much. Nez said he was going to the new Gosling movie. I can't remember what it's called now. Someone will know in the chat there. Someone said it early on. Yeah, don't draft Profar. I've had too many Profar shares until I uploaded the Easy Ranks. Shout out to the Easy Ranks upload there. Easy saying he still thinks he leans 7 more than 8, unless you get some sick hitter falls. That makes sense to me. All my teams like that in terms of positional allocation end up at 7 pitcher in reference to Mile High Jabroni's build there. So just kind of saying exactly what I said, where it's like, do what Jabroni did here, where he mixes in 2 position players. Now he's at 4, and you can kind of back weight how you spend the capital to get to 7. I I don't know about likelihood of 2 starts in the finals data. I'm sure somebody has it somewhere, but I don't know. Billy Jones has a good thread with advance rate data associated with positional stuff, and that's from the Stacking Dingers stuff, and you can go find that on his Twitter page. I'll put it there for you guys in a second here. But yeah, I don't know about increasing. Here, I put his Twitter in the chat. If anyone's going to have it, he's going to have it. We could also retroactively look at like the stuff from last year's Sweating Dingers, but the site's not up right now. Aiden took it down. So let's see. Yeah, Sweating Dingers is still not up. So might have just been too much work for my guy. What up, Brian? Look forward to you being on the After Dark. Contest won in April now. Damn straight, buddy. Every contest is already won. Hail Mary, thank you. That was the movie name. Easy haircut time. Got to be as fresh as Nez. Enjoy, my friend. Easy's getting trimmed up today. Easy went to the dentist and went to a haircut today. Guy's going to be looking fresh as hell for the weekend. Who else do we have to talk about in this range? This is kind of like that pocket of the draft guys where it's like all these guys are like, you know, they're all going to be within like 100 points projection of one another at the infield spot. So you can kind of just start scrolling and mixing in whoever you want. Don't have a ton of Jackson Holiday just since the handmade bone stuff, but he would fit our stack. Don't have a ton of Brandon Woodruff. Let's go ahead and take Tyler Glass now, man. Let's take Glass now. Just take another ceiling arm in this staff. We might be hurting for innings when it comes to, you know, Sale, McLean, Glasnow, but like, man, the upside of this staff is pretty big. I really like the Colson Montgomery bet in this range. As you guys can see, 15% owned for me. Like just a guy who can hit 40 home runs who's just hanging out here. Ezekiel Tovar had a very, 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 very good. Tovar had a very good World Baseball Classic. Dude, let's end our infield room with Tovar. Let's just take Tovar and end our infield room. That's a fun infield room. We get Gunnar, Pete Alonso, Bryce Harper, and then we get 3 upside bets in the middle infield with Connor Griffin, Matt McLean, and Ezekiel Tovar. Yeah, really fun upside. Gunnar, man, if he pushed for an MVP this year, nobody would be surprised. Pete Alonso hitting behind him is beautiful. Then we got Aaron Judge, who is perennial MVP conversation. And this might be the rare 7 outfield build with Aaron Judge because we're going to take, you know, some flyers at the back end. We're using Aaron Judge as an anchor, and then we are not, you know, overspending capital. We're going to have a 7-6-7, but with like, yeah, Tovar's nice with it. There you go. Here we go. Or dude, 1, 2, 3. I love Underdog, dude. The fucking best. You're in the right spot, man. You're in the right spot. So do we. Team looks legit. All right. Don't crash the plane. Mile High Jabroni. What gave away that he would be stacking Coors players when he's got Mile High right in the name? What gave it away? My bad, bro. My bad. But I like the bounce back for Tovar. You know, definitely 2020 potential there. Yeah, man, we could get funky with the scrolls here. Joel saying that he's got 20% Glass now. The playoff winning potential is too good to pass up on in his ADP. Fully agree, man. When we get to daily slate season, people will remember that like 80 pitches of Tyler Glasnow is like a first and second round pick in the daily contest. He's SP1 on the slate, baby. Like even, and then when he gets ramped up full, he gets to go 6+ innings. He gets 100 pitches. Like, man, he could cook. All right. Yeah, Cruz starting at AAA is bearish. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, you wanted to see a full year of Cruz, man. Wanted to see a full year of Cruz. Cruz. McGonagall getting pushed up here. People treating him as a similar bet to like Connor Griffin. He's been leading off in spring. Left-handed leadoff guy, middle infield. Doesn't strike out a whole lot. I have no Shane Smith. I might just be wrong, but like wins and quality starts are so important on our platform. And like the White Sox just don't strike me as that team. He could be like a front end ace kind of arm, and it might still not matter. Damn, Barger goes. We weren't going to do Barger anyways because this was an outfield team from here on out. Matt Wallner coming back would be okay because we like Wallner just in a vacuum. But I don't know, man. I'm starting to think through outfield a little bit, and I'm like, how much of a difference is the bet of Matt Wallner versus Trevor Larnach? You know, how different are those two truly, right? I think Jack Leiter, I don't have a ton of him, but I think Jack Leiter is like a little bit of a tier break guy here. We're done at the infield. 5 outfielders on the end for us. Don't really care if he takes Wallner. I got some targets in mind here. Wallner would stack with Buxton, which is fine, but we could also do the Trevor Larnach one as a scroll. I'm scared of Stanton from a health perspective, but if he gives you 110 games at this ADP, like 110 games for Stanton is worth more than like other guys, right? Wallner with Buxton or Stanton with Judge. I think we're going to take Wallner. Let's do it. And then we got 3 picks left. We got 1 starting pitcher, and then we got 2 scroll outfielders, and we are going to cook. Oh, that TiVo team got lucky that Maxime got 30. I mean, they only had 9 bodies last night, man, and they had no other bigs. We talked about it on the show that like the Maxime Renault stuff was really good. What's up, Brad? Brad is saying, any thoughts on guys like Durbin, Sama, Basallo, DeVries? Yeah, I think I haven't done the last 2 a ton, but I'm in on Caleb Durbin. I think he could just play third base every single day. You know, rookie of the year kind of guy. It's not a profile that I love. I only have 2.8%, but like he can give you some steals and give you some pop. You know, right-handed homers can go a long way in that park. I think he's a really fun backstack guy. Like I was doing like some cheeky like Willer Abreu plus Caleb Durbin stuff. Or if you do like Roman Anthony, like taking Caleb Durbin with your last pick, I think they're all super draftable, man. I like that. Joel's got 13% of Basallo. That's a good pick, man. That's a good pick. Like we know he can rake. My issue with it is I was taking Rutschman instead. I've seen it from Rutschman. Rutschman's a switch hitter. Rutschman's going to kind of be penciled into that 3-4 hole to start the season, 2-3-4, something like that. I was playing a lot of that. I'm kind of off of the Westberg stuff now. Like I'm just scared of like starting with injured players. But yeah, either's good. Purple Yosh saying he's got 20% Stanton. Like, I don't know. It's just like it's an asymmetrical bet, as we've been talking about, right? Where it's like he could hit you 30 home runs in 110 games, and those games are worth way, way more. And if those games come at the end of the season, when you're pushing in the playoffs, like his per plate appearance stats are going to be astronomical compared to some of these other guys at the bottom end. It's just a bet on health, right? He had the double elbow thing last year. Yeah, it's just, yeah. Sneaky stacking partner for Jose Ramirez. Man, Cleveland's tough to get to. I get it, though. I get it, man. Like Manzardo, obviously Chase is good. Brian Rocchio, like he was solid last year, and he's kind of like the reason, in parentheses on paper, that they were like, hey, we can get rid of Francisco Lindor, was just kind of like what they could do with this next tier of up and coming guys. Like Travis Bazana is also in that category, but it's like, what do you win when you win unless they like get 150 games under their belt? I got a couple ideas for where we could scroll here. I'm thinking of a Toronto bat. It might be a little bit of a platoon risk, but yeah. Okay, so one more pitcher. Easy's ranks like David Peterson. I don't have a ton of David Peterson. I thought Luis Severino looked really effing good in the World Baseball Classic there. But let's trust our guy Easy. We got a little bit. Let's trust our guy Easy, man. Let's take Tyler O'Neill first because we know the Moose has a Baltimore thing going as well. He took Colton Cowser from us. Yeah, there you go. He snaps it off. He takes Basalo and Carson Bengay. So he's stacking up there. So probably good that we took Tyler O'Neill first. Let's see. So David Peterson, SP83. Luis Severino's fine. People like Kate Savali because he's opening day. Grant Holmes. We don't have a ton of Grant Holmes yet. Let's take Grant Holmes. Oh, fuck. I missed it. My bad. Grant Holmes feels like a good scroll there, too. But we're done at pitcher now. David Peterson feels okay. It doesn't feel like the greatest pick in the world. But we took some guys that we don't have a ton of. Like Gallen, we have 1%. Jack Leiter, we have 2%. Pepper it around some guys that we like in Glasnow and Gilbert. Pretty fun team. Pretty fun team thus far. Adley's one of your highest drafted. Love it. Love it. I mean, we're talking about a dude who was like a 5th round pick a couple years ago, right? I mean, he has one bad year when the team was bad, or not bad, but worse than it had been. I think this is going to be, I don't know, maybe I'll let you guys vote on it, but I think this has to be, just given the way we allotted draft capital, I think this has to be another outfielder. But if you wanted to tell me it'd be another pitcher, I'd hear you out. I don't think it can be an infielder, just given that we made such a bet on Gunnar, Pete, and Bryce Harper. Like, those guys have to be playing every single day in our infield spots and in our flex. And then you take some upside bets on the last 3. If you told me you wanted an 8th pitcher instead of a 7th outfielder because Judge is just playing every single week for us, I'd hear you out. But a little bit of health concern with both Varsho and Buxton. Ozuna's old and moving to a worse park. Wallner might get platooned for. Tyler O'Neill might get platooned for. Like, we're basically just locking in Aaron Judge in one of our outfield slots, and then we're just hoping to fill the other ones, you know? We're just hoping to fill the other 2 with, like, you know, who's hot that week, who's healthy that week. Yeah, Tyler O'Neill, good Maple Ridge kid. Damn right, bro. Damn right, ball knower. Line of scrimmage, absolute ball knower. Good Langley Blaze alum. Good PBL kid. Never played against him, though. He was much younger. I was in, like, the Paxton era of things. Couldn't touch him. Couldn't even put the bat on Paxton. Just out there whiffing in fall games at James Paxton. Fun stuff. My baseball career was over early when I met James Paxton. The Big Maple, baby. Joel saying, I'd say how you get to Savali in a format that rewards wins so heavily, but I've got a ton of Shane Smith. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, how do you get to him? But also, I'm doing the same thing with Shane Smith 2 rounds before. Yeah, I tend to agree. Waka and Lugo as 2 of the 20th round guys. Seems good. Seems good. Waka and Lugo. Lugo goes there to Slim. Matthew Liberatore going to start opening day. Ryan Weathers made the rotation. He's getting pushed up. All right, we got to pick an outfielder here. Marsh stacks, which is fine. Josh Lowe would be my guy if we had an Angel. Jesus Sanchez stacks with Luzardo. Or sorry, with Varsho, rather. Trevor Larnach. I think that's the leader in the clubhouse. JJ Bleday for the Cincinnati stack. Here we go. Scroll the F down. Jake McCarthy, formerly a better high school running back than Saquon Barkley. Formerly Mr. Pennsylvania football winner over Saquon Barkley. Jake McCarthy. What if he just leads off for Colorado all season long? What if he leads off all season long for Colorado? This is a guy versus righties in the daily streets that we used to stack the shit out of in Arizona. And Arizona's a terrible place to hit, especially for left-handed hitters. And now all of a sudden he gets Coors Field. They sought him out early. Nobody loves to railroad their own prospects more than the Colorado Rockies with aging journeyman vets. What if he gets 550 plate appearances at the top of that lineup, him and Tovar as a little stack? Just a guy I've been thinking about. Also thinking about Lourdes Gurriel ahead of timeline. He's ahead of his timeline right now and could be ready for opening day. The password, Garcia here, has had a nice spring training, fits our Pittsburgh stack. This Jurickson Profar was a beautiful 0% until we got into slow draft hell. I'm also thinking about there are 2 Kansas City bats down here. Lane Thomas and Isaac Collins. I'm thinking about a Dominic Canzone or 2. Why not? He could hit 25 home runs. 25 home run potential. Parker Meadows could lead off. But I think Jesus Sanchez is kind of my favorite down here. I'm pumping my brakes on the Jordan Walker swing change stuff. I think he might still suck. All right, guys. There's our second to last streamed dinger. We are going to do a streamed dinger with Pete on Monday. And that'll be our last kind of ramp up. We're also going to break down what goes into MLB dailies. Yeah, remember when 6th round Lane Thomas, rather? I can also think of a time where Alex Call had a really high ADP in the dinger. I can also think of when everybody thought Chas McCormick was a 5th round pick in the dinger streets. Those are the callbacks, baby. That's what you pay me the big bucks for. All right, guys. Second to last stream dinger here. Logan Gilbert, Chris Sale, Nolan McLean, Zach Gallen, Tyler Glasnow, Jack Leiter, David Peterson. A little bit of oatmeal mixed in with some high upside. A lot of injury risk in that starting staff, but definitely a ceiling one. And then Gunnar Henderson, Pete Alonso, Bryce Harper, Connor Griffin, Matt McLean, Ezekiel Tovar. That is a beautiful infield room. And then Aaron Judge, Byron Buxton, Dalton Varsho, Marcelo Zuna, Matt Wallner, Tyler O'Neill, Jake McCarthy, all ceiling, all boomer bust, all injury riddled risk. You guys see this sweet little button in the bottom corner. We are going to run the S words. We are going to run the Sims on the draft and see who wins. 10,000 simulations of our draft. Let's see who wins according to our guy. Oh, let's go. Let's go. The easy ranks suggests that your boy Rotorun comes out on top. This team is worth $36. We just turned $15 into $36. We are a projection bro, and we are a stacker. We have a beautiful projection for the outfield. We have a beautiful projection for the infield. And then we got some extreme volatility in the pitching staff there. A 0.7% chance at the finals. A 5.1% chance at the semifinals with a 7.67. Shout out to my guy Noah, who comes up in second in the S words. No Bo Sox, the Moose in here. And my guy, Mile High Jabroni, coming in last place in the Sims. Oh, you hate to see it. On the sucks or fucks scale, Rotorun fucks and Mile High Jabroni sucks. Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry, my guy. We got to rerun the Sims for him. Good, clean fun. Good, clean fun. Fun draft there, guys. I am going to do the Sock Muffin a favor here. What did he say? He said one face-off Friday. I'm in such a good mood. We are on the last draft of the day. One face-off Friday for the people to close the show. Why not? One more spot in the face-off Friday. I have not looked at the slate. I have no idea who is playing hockey tonight. Let's do a face-off Friday because I came first in the S words, baby. Let's go. First in the S words. Shout out Easy for the S words, man. You guys can check it out over the weekend there. If you are still drafting dingers, go ahead, check this out. Easy, dfs.xyz. You can download that free Underdog overlay. You cannot do the Sims with the free version, but you can do the overlay and it'll tell you where your stacks are, that sort of thing. Because our friends over at the Solver, here you go, the Solver Draft Assistant. It is primarily for baseball and football, for basketball and football at this point in time. I will drop that in the chat for our friends over at the Solver as well. Use promo code BADGE, capital letters there for 20% off. The only place you can get 20% off. And then our beautiful friends over at Unabated there, which we used for the basketball portion of the program. All right, guys. I will turn off the overlays because there are no overlays for the puck streets. I will bring up dailyfaceoff.com so we can see who the goaltenders are. Also, reminder to everybody that on Daily Faceoff, they have free Underdog projections. I will show you in a half second after we make a selection. It looks like Colorado is absolutely popping this evening against the Blackhawks, the lowly Blackhawks. So we're going to have to do something a little contrarian here. We got Matthew Tkachuk at Calgary revenge game. They were in Vancouver the other night, and now we get the Matthew Tkachuk returning to Calgary revenge game. Looks like everybody's aping in on these teams. Let's go ahead and flip the board a little bit and take Bedsy, Connor Bedard here. We're going to take Connor Bedard, who has a chain these days. If you've been paying attention to the league, he's got a chain under his jersey now, a little swagzilla for my guy Bedsy. All right, before we make our next pick, Daily Faceoff, going to put it in the chat here. This is how you get in on the puck streets, guys. You go ahead, you check out the line combos. You can click on any team here. We could take the Chicago Blackhawks. Okay, Bedsy's playing with Ryan Green and Burakovsky. So we can go ahead and stack up some lines there. I don't think I'm going to stack it up just yet. I think I'm going to take Cutter Gauthier. Let's go ahead and take Cutsy. We got Cutsy and Bedsy here while we flip the board. All the fun, slappy picks. If you guys go over here, we could see who Cutter's going to be paired with the Ducks. Ducks look kind of nice right now. Cutter's got a little bit of third line there, but he is on PP1. No, he is not. He's on PP2. He's on PP2, so you could get some Mason McTavish with him. You can get Alex Killorn, the former Tampa Bay Lightning player. Looks like Mason McTavish will draw back into the starting lineup tonight. But if you go into tools here, guys, you can go ahead and you can look at some of the projections by the projections tool, and then you can flip to Underdog, and you can see, there you go. Oh my goodness. Cutter, am I a ball knower or am I a ball knower? Cutter is popping in the projections. So there you go. I'm a slappy already. Cutter's the best pick on the board. Holy shit. Look, I just walk into the streets, guys, and I just know puck, you know? Just walk into the streets and I just know he's a good pick. Unbelievable. All right. No tendies have gone. Oh, sorry. Logan Thompson is gone. Matthew Tkachuk comes back there. I got a plan in the back of my mind here. I think I want to take a one-off on the blue line here. Take a little Dougie Hamilton. What do you guys think of that? Let's take Dougie. Obviously, a bunch of rumors around Dougie, whether his team likes him or not. Healthy scratched and shit like this. Maybe I could have scrolled. Could have taken my guy. Where are we at? Jackson Lacombe. Could have taken a little Jackson there for some PP correlation. But I think everybody's going to be doing this. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to flip the script a little bit. We're going to have some fun. Man, Colorado's a wagon. Like, everyone's getting drafted from Colorado. Like, Nazem Kadri's on that team now, too. Okay. We're going to take Nylander. No. I wanted to take Nylander as a one-off. But I think we should take... All right. We're taking Mason McTavish, baby, because he's got no ADP. But I think we should take Nylander as a one-off, and then we'll stack up McTavish. Let's take Nylander as a one-off. We'll stack up McTavish. We'll have like a... I usually like to stack 3 players, or I like to stack 2 from like 2 different lines. So I was thinking about stacking up Bedsy, but I think I'm going to play Nylander as the one-off instead. And then we're going Mason McTavish, full scroll the F down, doesn't even have an ADP. We put him with Cutter. Not McTavish, bro. Noah doesn't want me to do it. He's scared. Noah's scared that I scrolled too far. All right, who's a better stack? Troy Terry. I don't like doing double defenseman. I don't like doing double defenseman. What else can we do? We can do Chicago. There we go. Andre Burakovsky, all the way scrolled down. Dude doesn't score any fantasy points ever. We're putting him with Bedsy. Let's see what happens. Can't wait. Check the scores tonight and see McTavish with a goal in the first 5 minutes. It's coming, baby. Mason McTavish, Slappies unite. Both these guys had already taken goalies, so we didn't have to there. Let's go back to daily face-off and just see if we got any goalies here. Who's going to play tonight? What do we think? Click on the tendies here. Who we got? Let's do Lucas Dossel. He's going to start tonight, right? Let's go with it. He was good in the Olympics. Then we stay true to a little bit of that Anaheim stuff. We get Bedsy in there. We got Bedsy, we got Nylander, we got Cutter, we got Dougie H. We got Dostal in there, and then we got no one's going to scroll to Andre Burakovsky, who's going to be playing a little line one, but maybe not any power play time. We'll see. But he's going to be playing a little line one alongside Connor Bedard. Let's have a little fun. Mason McTavish is only playing like 12 minutes a game now. Jake Allen is the deep scroll because Markstrom has an ADP. All right. Respect it. All right. Noah gave us all the alpha you guys need to win in the puck streets. That's going to be it, guys. I'm going to be in the dinger streets for the remainder of the day. I will still do probably another 30 of the basketball drafts. So we're going to get our 40 NBA drafts. We are going to get our puck draft in there, and then we are going to continue to do these dingers. I will see. We got any active dingers? Oh, we got 25 minutes left on this one. We'll do one last dinger pick and call it a show. We got a 7-6-6 with a Profar landmine in it. You love to see it. This looks like infield, even though it has Profar, just because we spent first four picks on outfield. Detroit stack, Colorado stack, Houston, Isak Paredes. Don't have a ton of Isak. Isak Paredes with our last pick of this one. Stack it up with Yordan Alvarez. Why not? All right, there's your last pick of the show. That's all she wrote. All right. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Enjoy your weekends. Enjoy your bracket sweating. Enjoy your final dingers. We'll do another one on Monday. Best of luck in the puck streets. Best of luck in the hoop streets. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace. Much love to the community. Go check out the solver, Unabated, and easydfs.xyz. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace. Happy birthday, Mr. Good Boy.